time. Fuck it. I'm just gonna go live because we were supposed to go live. Like, okay.
We
So
were supposed to go live like 2 hours ago.
So you watched the episode literally just like 5 seconds ago. I watched it again this morning.
Again?
Yes, because I watched it last night and I felt nothing. So I slept on it because I think you know where I'm going with this. So
I didn't feel nothing, guy. Like, get it together.
I felt nothing, and I'll tell you why, and maybe it'll make sense to you when we put into context this season as a whole. And my feelings go like this, and then you might know where I'm going with this. Yellowstone, the last episode of the final season, banger, right? You get everything you want. Jamie's death, the whole nine. It was a really fucking awesome scene. But then you look at that last season and you go, you know what? If the end of this season was like the very last episode and the beginning of part 1 of season 5, if all the episodes that followed in between that were as good as these episodes, you would have a complete package. And so I don't know if this is like a feeling. I rewatched Cobra Kai, right? Remember we were kind of all mixed about how we felt about the ending of the show per se. I rewatched it again now, what, a year or two removed from when it all premiered, and I had a different feeling. I said, you know what? I think it was a bit hard because now that I got it all and I watched it all together, totally fine where it ended up. Now, I want to stop something right here that I hear, which is fucking ridiculous. And I saw this on, of course, the X. People are comparing this to Game of Thrones.
Hold on. You can. I don't know how upset this is making you. You can obviously compare it to Game of Thrones because they both have series finales.
Yes,
that's my only point. Is how you can compare it.
But what you can't say is this is as bad. The last episode of Game of Thrones was walking and Daenerys gets shanked. That's it. And the most fucking retarded character becomes king. Okay.
First of all, he's not a retarded character. He's a crippled character.
Oh, I'm sorry, I got him mixed up. Anyways.
It's bad. It's so bad.
It's so bad. And you can't compare this to Dexter because the whole season was bad. The whole season of this isn't bad. There's good episodes in here. What I think this feels like, and I couldn't place my finger on it until I rewatched it and I slept on it, is have you ever watched a video on YouTube on like ×3 speed?
I don't pay for YouTube Premium, so they don't let me go to 3 times speed.
Okay.
I usually, most of my YouTube videos I watch at 1.3 times speed. And then occasionally occasionally I accidentally hit the screen and it jumps up to 2 times speed. And that's tough to understand.
Okay. Better. 2 times speed was what this finale felt like. And the moments where they should have slowed down, which they could have because they did in other episodes, I don't think they gave enough time. For instance,
the episode, he said that the episode was going to be 65 minutes, except he wasn't including the minute and 40 of previously on, and the like 7 minutes of credit on the end.
Correct. And the
barely over an hour. It's like 61 minutes.
So, and I don't know if you got this feeling, but it felt like.
Oh, I got some feelings.
It felt like watching a tape that's being fast forward and you're trying to catch everything, which once again, it's not bad that they wanted to get to the shit. I'm glad they didn't do a Stranger Things and we have like 3 hours of talking and then like 10 minutes of the ultimate battle and then a 30-minute epilogue, which all of you fucking people who thought that final was great, you're high as shit. We didn't have that here. But I felt like things moved super fucking quickly. And it left me with the feeling of this was all right. It wasn't disastrous. I'm not saying it's bad. In the many episodes of The Boys we have, I would consider this a good episode. I wouldn't consider it a great episode. It got the job.
Really? You wouldn't consider this a great episode?
Nope, not at all. I would consider the first episode of this
What about
series
better than great?
No.
It was the series finale, guy.
That doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit that it's the series finale unless I feel something. And I felt like because of how they set this up, it didn't land. And maybe you could look past it. But for me, how you lead into things is important. It grabs gravitas. The danger did come, but it came in this episode whilst we were in these different. I didn't feel escalating tension. It was like they were trying to get it all crammed into this one episode. And it's not.
I'm going to quote one of my and your favorite characters, Dr. Carson Beckett. I feel something too. Could be lunch related.
So my issues are, and I know I don't know from the sounds of it, you might disagree with me, PV, but it's just me personally. I'm big about the setup and the payoff. I'm big about, like, you don't have to have the greatest lead in, but the penultimate episode was fucking garbage. We gave it a 4. And then we go into this, and nothing in here is particularly bad, but nothing in here felt earned or really like it had the impact that it should have had. And don't get me wrong, Butcher's death got me, but I felt like they didn't hold it enough. We didn't, like, Butcher got a gut shot. You could have did that thing a lot longer. That would have been a scene more to get into, right? But I felt it, but I didn't. It was like Frenchie's death. I felt it, but I didn't. Homelander's death, no notes. Great. Love the crowbar. Scoop it out the head. Deep's death, point off. Samuel L. Jackson should have killed him. Like, the shark.
Do you know specific?
Like, motherfucker, I told you not to come in here.
We both saw the scene twice. Do you know, like, the first time I watched it, I wasn't exactly sure what happened. The second time,
it was the octopus tentacle went through his ass.
Okay, no, that's what I got. That's what I got the second time after I thought of it, is that he got impaled through his body. Yeah,
so it wrapped around, went up his butthole and out his mouth, because I paused and did the so it wrapped around and it went. So
I mean, you don't see it go up his asshole, though.
No, it's just you see it work its way down, and it came out of his mouth. So through the power of deduction, I'm gonna guess there's only one other way it went in. But it's clever that they didn't show it that way, so it doesn't come off as too crude. I want to give them more props,
right? Because The Boys is worried about being too crude.
No, it's just when you have this is supposed to be like an impactful thing. I think it was great. One good thing that they did was they scaled down the comedy a bit to make it a bit more serious.
Did they? I thought it was fucking hilarious, especially when she gets all serious and she's like, "Hey, Kevin," and then he sits there and he goes, "No."
No, I mean,
that's what hilarious, guy.
They played it seriously, which made the jokes hit better. It wasn't like. Remember in the beginning of the series, it felt like they were trying, where they were throwing like a lot of curses and stuff, and we're like, okay, we know The Boys is like raunchy, but you know, they were like overdoing it. It felt like trying to be edgy. This one here, I noticed they toned it down a bit to make it a little bit more serious, and that's why the jokes were for me. And look, there's nothing specific I can point to in the episode that's technically flawed or whatever. It's just. It didn't.
Oh, I don't see how you could find anything that was flawed in this episode. It's fucking spectacular. It might be the greatest series finale that ever series finale'd.
That is fucking a lie. No.
Of course it's a fucking lie. It was shit, guy. It was absolute fucking shit.
Stargate is a great series finale. This is not even great. This ain't even on that level. It saved the rest of the season.
It didn't save shit. The whole fucking thing was fucking convenient and stupid. Every fucking thing that you're gonna say is a good point is fucking dumb. You like the fight between Starlight and Kevin, and Except it was dumb as fuck, because why in the fuck do you take a guy to the one place where he could possibly have an advantage over you, because you don't know that the fish are out to get him? She didn't fucking know that. She didn't know shit about his situation. And she takes him to a beach, which is right next to his home territory of the water, and far away from her home territory of an electrical power plant. Where'd she get the extra power from? Just boom. And what? She was fighting Homelander before. She can barely handle the deep. He's beating her ass for a moment.
That, you know what's funny?
That whole fucking scene was stupid. Why wouldn't you take him to the desert? He wanted to go to Las Vegas.
That's what I thought. Like she was gonna drop him in Vegas or something.
Vegas would have been perfect. Like, I don't know how long, I don't know how fast she can fly, but if you're going someplace that's going to be advantageous to you and unadvantageous, a detriment, I don't know what fucking word I'm looking for. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
go to Las Vegas, because there's no fucking water in Vegas other than at the fountains, and there's electricity everywhere.
And also too, another big problem I had. They've been for years now.
I'm sorry, guys. I was going to go farther into this stream saying how this was the greatest finale ever, but I couldn't hold it together.
Oh, God. You have me worried. Okay, so I'm not on an island.
You have rated this way too high.
I didn't rate it yet. You didn't hear my rating.
I know. And from what you've said in 11 and a half minutes, you've rated this way too high. You said, I liked this. I liked this. It wasn't great, but it was good. No, it wasn't. It was shit.
I liked it in the sense of they didn't continue the main characters, and I liked the stuff between Huey.
Okay, I can appreciate the fact that you're killing off the characters to end your story. I can appreciate that. But can we do it in not the dumbest fucking way possible? No, we had to do it in the dumbest fucking way possible. You tell me one single fucking scene in this show that makes sense with how they've been set up for 5 seasons.
And that's what I was going to say to you. Okay, so I wasn't the only what I was telling you something was missing.
Secondly, Butcher is wrong about Soldier Boy's powers, where he says, oh, well, he's got to be pissed off to make it work. He wasn't pissed off when he beamed Bomb Sight. He wasn't pissed off at all.
Yeah, that was okay. So that was another thing I
that was a straight up lie to make you think that it doesn't work. And then they're like, oh, well, she was pushing your buttons on purpose because Homelander can only make it work when he's pissed off. Not true. I watched the show, people. Whoever the fuck wrote this final episode, did you not watch the show? You have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Okay, good. So, yeah. See, here's the thing.
The best part of this episode is Sister Sage being stupid. She is fucking hilarious. I laughed so hard.
I was gonna say Sister Sage's arc was stupid, but
it's dumb as fuck. But I laughed.
But this was actually good. Okay, yeah. So here's the thing, though. I don't consider it as bad as like Game of Thrones or Dexter. It's just
okay. So are you putting Dexter ahead? Are you putting Dexter ahead of Stranger Things on the bad list?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because it's not just the episode; it's the season. PB.
Yeah, but if we're only talking about the episode, because all people care about in the finale is, well, did we end this person's story?
It's Dexter without even having to think about it, because Dexter fucking killed somebody in a police station and nobody fucking arrests him. And then he drives his boat in the middle of the ocean into the sea in a thunderstorm with a dead body, and no one tries to stop him. And I know there's a hurricane and the town's evacuated.
Okay, so let me ask you this. If you can remember, which I know it's a while ago, even if you had rewatched it, it's going to be a while ago. In season 1, I don't explicitly remember, like, we know the motivation of Butcher. But in season 1, I feel like it's constantly repeated to us that Butcher is trying to take down Vought. Like, Vought is the number 1 target. And by taking down Vought, you also take down Homelander. Is that not how they set it up?
That's not. I actually started rewatching season 1 yesterday with Yellowstone. And no, he wanted to take down all heroes. he was going after Vought because that was where Homelander was. But his mission is
in order to take down all of the heroes, you have to take down Vought because they make the heroes.
Well, he was just targeting Vought because of Homelander, but he wasn't.
I feel like we need to rephrase, not the heroes, the soups, because they ain't.
Yeah, the soups. He wasn't after Vought in general. It just happened to be who were like sponsoring them. But his mission has always been, and he words it specifically, heroes all had to die. Superheroes in general. Yeah, they do make that very clear because it isn't just Vought. Because there's even a line where he's like, what's your beef with Vought? And he's like, it's not Vought, it's the cunts they're protecting. So it's the heroes he's specifically been after. So that made perfect sense. The issue I have with it
make perfect sense. I obviously remember it differently than you do.
I was just rewatching all the episodes yesterday, so it's fresh in my mind.
Dude, sometimes I think that your days are like fucking 100 hours long. You're like, I rewatched this. I worked on my book a little bit. I watched some YouTube videos. I played some video games. Well, you running 5 screens at a time? So you ain't watching nothing? You just got it on?
2.
Fuck, man. Like, nobody has more time in a day than you do. It's amazing.
Time management, folks, important. Anyway. So the other thing is that I told you dude,
every leak that we read, so everybody who was talking about the SFX artist or the VFX artist, I don't remember what, maybe it was VFX, doesn't matter, whoever the artist was, that everybody was saying, oh, well, this person made a post saying that this is going to happen and this is going to happen. All of it was wrong. All of it. That whole fucking leak was wrong because it was a rumor. It wasn't a leak. It wasn't from a person who worked on it, because there's no fucking way that you worked on a show and you made a scene as intricate as what they were describing of him just murdering people senselessly, and everybody heard, oh, well, he's going to rip a baby out of a mother's womb, and that's going to be the freaky deaky thing that everyone was talking about from the season finale. So what was the scene that they were talking about from the season finale where they're like, I can't believe we went there. It's the worst thing we've ever done. What was it? Because that was the showrunner and people working on the show talking about how, oh, we've never went to this level before. What was it? They all fucking lied to us. Every single fucking person.
And here's my other big issue. You just mentioned it. We've been building up for like 7 years this big mental break that Homelander's supposed to be having. He doesn't even hurt He doesn't even hurt a cat. He hurts some guy we don't care about, who's a rich guy who owns a rocket.
Elon Musk. He sent Elon Musk to space.
And even Bitchy pointed this out. The address to the nation. Wow. Where do I start with this? This goes to the writing where this doesn't come off as you think it does.
None of this comes off as the way that they think it does.
Like, the more we talk about it, the more I'm placing what my feelings are. Because remember when we first started, it looked, like I said, it's good in comparison to the other episodes we've gotten. It's not great, and it doesn't save the show because none of this, and I explained it, they sped run this. This feels
Dude, of course the finale couldn't save the show. It made the show worse.
It
made so many things earlier in previous seasons and this season irrelevant.
And I agree. The fight was
which fight? Are we saying both of them together? Because both fights are happening at the same time. Like, this is the big fight scene, and they split them apart. I was like, holy fuck, man.
Yeah, Maximus, tell us which one you're particularly talking about.
I mean, I presume he's talking about Homelander because that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, I assume he is talking about Homelander as well.
The fight scene was worse than mid. The fight scene was awful, considering, once again, the people who wrote this episode obviously haven't watched the fucking show because they don't know how Homelander, he's supposed to be immortal and stronger than ever, and this is the weakest we've ever seen him. It took superpowered Huey, Soldier Boy, and Butcher to try and hold him down, and they couldn't do it. But not fully powered Ryan and Butcher can do it by themselves after Homelander got stronger. Come on. And not to mention the fact that just earlier in the season, we watch him beam Kimiko in half, but now when he hits her with his extra super-powered beams, it just kind of scorches her chest a little bit.
That was the other thing, too. I wasn't crazy
Awful.
about that.
Fucking awful.
When Soldier Boy did his beam, it was like they, and once again, this is all season 3, and we're relating this season to season. He took out half a fucking bot. He took out the whole fucking thing, and we thought Maeve died because she fucking grabbed him and went on his thing when he went to do another explosion, and it was like a fucking nuke in the air. Now, if we're saying Kimiko, through both plot device, got the beam, right? And it's supposed to be
once again unbelievably convenient.
Sense. All she does is what? She doesn't even blow a hole. Did she blow a hole through the White House itself, or was it just like a crater where everyone was sitting? Because
it looked like she blew a hole in the floor, but didn't
blow
a hole. No, she blew a hole in the floor, but the beam that the floor is sitting on was perfectly fine. They just kind of cut the carpet around it.
Thank you. I appreciate.
Where the fuck? Okay, here's my question.
Where
in the fuck is the budget? Where did the budget go? Into what episode did the budget go? It really seems like Kripke was like, "Hey, send me the check and I'll take care of everything. Don't worry about it, guys." And he just fucking pocketed the money or something. I don't know what happened.
And this is what pisses me off. Kripke said that arrogant fuck. He was like, "Oh, well, don't expect a big fight scene, and not every final has to have." Okay. Folks, if you guys don't know, which I was like, thank you. I love that comment. If you guys don't know, my favorite series of all time is Breaking Bad. Now, Breaking Bad, spoilers if you haven't seen the final season, but my God, it's legendary. Anyways, final season. You know what the final episode is? Fucking Walter gets a fucking minigun. He's fighting fucking Nazis to save Jesse Pinkman. He takes a fucking watch and puts it on a timer to mow down all these Nazis. And this is a grounded show. So this shit costs money. But the fucking great writer that is, I always forget the writer's name, but Vince Gilligan, okay? Being a fucking good writer and probably using the budget how he fucking should, he saved up some of the biggest moments, and there were still great moments in the final season, for the last scene. Okay. And he wasn't flashy about it. It's not like there's superpowers in Breaking Bad, but he gave us a fucking epic, I don't know what you want to call it, last stand, whatever. He's mowing down Nazis. This machine gun's going off. He grabs Jesse. He's like down, grabs him, takes a fucking bullet. Jesse chokes someone out, right? You're sitting there in it like, holy fucking shit. This is like a superhero show, whether people like it or not. It is an anti-superhero show, but it's still a superhero show. And when you have a superhero show, I don't give a shit like what you're saying, like, but there hasn't been the point. No, everybody expects a final battle. This is like the movie, and they gave M. Night Shyamalan shit for this, and I would argue that it wasn't the point of the movie. But when you see Glass, right? Part of Unbreakable and Split, everybody was expecting a big final battle. Now, the plot twist is that it wasn't meant to be fought a big final battle, but people went into that thinking this is a superhero movie like any other superhero movie. I need a final battle. This is the final season of The Boys. You made a character who's like Superman. You made his rival Butcher, and the heel turn of Butcher, his dog died. His dog died.
Everything about that is stupid too. The dog dying of old age. I don't know how old the dog is specifically, so I don't know exactly when he's supposed to die. So I'm just gonna assume somebody left out some fucking chocolate, right? We seen him trying to get all the chocolate in the previous episode. They save his life, and then he's like, I'm gonna tap out anyways, guys.
So here's what I'm confused about.
He tapped out, but at least he lasted longer than Gina Carano.
Oh, whoa! But see, people were doubting my Rhonda, anyways. That is a point. I know people.
I knew she was going to win the fight, but I thought she'd at least get punched once. Once,
not
just once.
Anyways, so did Butcher say my dog is dead, oi, and my boy doesn't want to be with me, oi? So I'm gonna take out me soups. Sorry, that was a terrible British accent, people.
Buenos nachos, Carmen.
It's just like I don't. This is like the whole season, folks, and this is my issue. Is the season in general has gotten steadily worse, and when the penultimate episode was so fucking terrible.
Wait, so the penultimate episode is terrible, but this episode is better than it?
I was saying better than it in the sense of something happened.
No, I agree with you.
Like people died.
A lot of something's happened. They ended a lot of stories, and all of it was done stupidly. There's not a single thing that makes sense with how it was set up previously.
Well,
but now
one thing. We got to give them credit. There was one thing. Huey
okay,
and Starlight
together.
Huey and Starlight getting together. That was always going to be a thing. I'm fine with that.
I know the fact that they ended up together and didn't die is
because that is in the, not to reference the source material, that is in the comics. That's the only one who's left standing. They do get married, except for Huey is made after Simon Pegg in the comics, so he goes back to Ireland or Scotland or something, and then he hooks up with Starlight later. But they do wind up getting married and having a kid. So I have no issue with that.
What do they name their kid in the fucking comic?
Huh?
What do they name their child in the comic?
It doesn't say. It's just she's pregnant.
Which is a way better ending than this one, because this one was fucking awful. It was quite possibly the worst final line I've ever seen in a TV show.
Oh, and let me just say this:
like, if the point of writing this show is like, well, we want you to feel something, like, oh, that's the payoff. We want
so it wasn't crazy.
I felt like you're stupid. That's what I felt like, writers.
I didn't. My thing is, and I even said when I went to bed, I was like, I don't feel anything. and you were like, what?
See, which means that, like I said, you've rated this episode way too fucking high, because I went to bed fucking pissed. Like, it was super fucking late, and I told myself, okay, I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, and then I'm gonna watch the finale, and then I'm gonna go to bed. And then I watched the finale, and I went, I need another fucking cigarette. It's just bad. It's so bad.
This is so weird, because how you are feeling is how I was for Stranger Things, but how I'm feeling is how I felt for Yellowstone, the final episode. I felt like that kid who gets scolded by his mother, where I felt disappointed. Like, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not mad. I'm not angry. You could have did better. You let me down. That's what I feel like.
I have not been this pissed off at an episode of television since the series finale of Game of Thrones.
See, but I don't think I could say it's as bad as that, honestly.
It's not as bad as that, only because the killing of the Night King doesn't happen in the finale. That's the only reason that the Game of Thrones isn't as bad as it could be. Like, it could be worse. I agree that this finale is not as bad as that, but there's been nothing in between where I've been like, oh my God, this is just horrendous.
Well, no, we did all agree that the last episode was pretty fucking horrendous. But
you're saying that this one's better. This one is way worse. Not because it's not acted well. It's been acted well the entire fucking series. It's because the decisions that are made and the way things play out are all done for convenience. Like, all of the sudden, Homelander forgot what all of his powers are. All of a sudden, they forgot how strong Homelander is supposed to be. Not to mention the fact that can I get into the one political thing here?
Yes.
So do we agree that the way that they are portraying it Homelander is supposed to be an allegory for Donald Trump, right? Because he's
Oh,
crazy and he's power hungry and all that kind of shit. He wants people to worship him, right? That's what they're trying to go for.
That suggests, yeah, that's what I
okay.
got.
Sure. Okay. So we can agree on that. I'm sure a lot of people can agree on that. Obviously, they don't know how to write the fucking character, or the story, not the character. Character was, I guess, fine in this instance. But what I got from his death scene was that even after you strip all of the power away from Trump, they still want to kill him. That's fucked up.
I mean, wow, I didn't even think about it that way.
Oh, that was the I shouldn't say first thing. That was the second thing I thought about. The first thing I thought about in that scene at the end is, one, how strong does a person have to be to impale a human's forehead with a relative, like, I know it comes to a point, but it's not like a knife. It's a relatively dull-ended weapon, and he shoves it right through his skull. And I was like, okay, I can get on board with that. Like, he's super pissed. He's got his fucking angriness, doing it for Becca, boom, stab him in the head. Now, I would assume that Butcher was an expert with the crowbar. He's been using it since fucking season 1. You'd think he's an expert. He doesn't crowbar the right way. He crowbars. He pushed it in, and then he pushed up. If you wanted, right, what leverage inside of your cranium is there? So you're in through the head. What leverage is there down in your facial area that is strong enough that it's not going to break, but your skull is going to pop off? Whereas, if you shove it in there and you pull down, working with gravity, instead of against gravity, work with gravity, you're using the leverage to push the top off instead of using the leverage to push the bottom off. Crowbars work opposite.
And this is what we're talking about.
They're so fucking dumb. Like,
there's so many.
I don't know if that comes down to a writing issue or a directing issue, because I'm sure somebody said, shove it in like this, and then you're gonna crack his skull off. And I was like, that's not how you would crack his skull off.
Yeah, and also too, even if he's depowered, it's a human skull. I'm still curious of how he would have had to come in with such force and be hooked into the skull itself and then pull. You still got the skull, but the way it's done, everything comes off. So it's like, how did he crack like the human skull at that angle? And now that you pointed out, how do you even then hook it in? And so even technically,
the skull, this is like the strongest bone on your entire fucking body. The way that he moves the crowbar, all he should have done is essentially tilt Anthony Starr's head until it slid off the desk, because there's no fucking leverage there. If you pull down on the crowbar, his shoulders are underneath the desk and his whole body is up against the desk, and you can push against his face to crack the top off. Like, come on, people.
And here's the thing, folks. I know some people look at it and be like, well, this is a tiny nitpick, but when it's so baffling with the choices you're seeing, it highlights everything else, no matter how minute. That's an issue, because now we're so focused on how angry and how everything's not going right that you start to notice things. And make no mistake, it is a technical issue. If you've watched The Boys and the way things have worked, they've always seemed to function in a way that while we're in a superhuman world, the basic things within the world still follow our guidelines, our rules, whatever. Yeah, now that you bring that up, the whole crowbar scene, that kind of does put a damper on that. And also the thing with the deep too. I still can't get over, one, Samuel L. Jackson should have killed him. That would have been extra points. Two,
I don't know. I feel like
when I heard this, right, it makes sense from a narrative standpoint that Starlight and Dee fight. But even
I get that.
Bitchy
That's
said,
fine.
No, Bitchy said this to me, and it makes sense. She says to me, let me turn off my camera. She says to me, she goes, honey, how is Kevin so fucking strong? Like, is he that strong? And I found myself trying to make excuses, but now that you think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, they still got the V or whatever. But now that I think about it, she was right. How is he fucking strong on land? His whole thing is like water. And yeah,
no, I mean, like,
powers, she is stronger because of the thing powering her, but like he doesn't.
I would like to know what determines, like, you get your superpower, right? Everybody's got their different superpower, and they're not all the same. But what determines your durability? Because, like, MM shoots She-Line, boom, boom. She's like, oh, fucking, you can shoot her, and she will die. But we get nothing like this about O-Father. He shoots O-Father, boom, completely bullet resistant. Why does his vocal superpower make him extra durable? Like, they have no durability standard in this show at all at any point. Nor do they have, once you get to the finale, a power scaling standard. It's like, whatever the scene calls for, that's how fucking strong you are. Forget everything that you've ever seen before. Like, if you hadn't watched any of the boys, right? You didn't watch a single episode. You didn't know any of the characters. You didn't see what they had done previously. So you have no idea where they're coming from. And you watch this finale, you'd probably think, oh, that is fucking great. But if you paid attention to the show at all, I don't see how you can see this as anything but horrendous. Not to mention the fact that I wasn't the only person that's seen it, because I did watch a couple of other reviews of random people that I've never even heard of before, because I was like, okay, what are the randos out there saying? Because I would like to, get a wide variety.
Yeah.
Multiple people agree with me, and it's confirmed MM is a soup. Do you know how?
How?
Well, we've seen what O-Father can do with his Black Bolt abilities, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't strap the ball gag onto his head. He just holds it with his hands. How in the fuck is MM so strong that he can hold back O-Father's superpower in his mouth? How?
Yeah, and it felt like, just to do a reference of,
not to mention the fact, like, if we go on the other side of the coin, I feel like this is how, was that Ashley set up to kill O-Father? Like, oh, I'm going to put this ball gag on you, and then I'm going to make you come so fucking hard you blow your own head off.
And here's the thing too that I heard.
How did MM hold it on? How?
And here's the thing too that I heard a lot of people say, that I get the feeling of. This doesn't feel like the original finale, or what the original finale was. Like, it feels like it's got pieces of maybe what the ideas were, but it doesn't feel like this was how exactly it was supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it feels like this was a general setup, like when you first do a draft, but it doesn't feel like it got a pass, or that someone looked on it and, like you said, well, this doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense. Why are we doing this here? This feels like either they rewrote the ending from what it was intended on being, because I'm going back through now and I'm watching the boys from the beginning, because like I said, I had that empty feeling inside. So back.
I'm not going back and rewatching this show.
And I'm like, first off, when you watch season 1, which I was doing, and then you're watching this, holy fuck, what a night and day difference. Like, just like, anybody who's sitting here saying this was a good season of television, or this was a good final, just watch the first 2 episodes.
That's what I'm saying. So you can, in my mind, you can be of one mindset or the other. If this was a great freaking finale and holds up and just puts a cap on everything, then 4.5 seasons were shit. 4.5 seasons don't make sense if this makes sense.
Which, to me, and that's what I
don't know. I got a massive problem with the power scaling issues. They don't make any fucking sense. Like, don't show me something earlier in the series and then tell me that the tables are even more unbalanced, but the one with less weight is heavier.
And
it doesn't make it's so fucking terrible, guy. I don't understand how you give anything in this fucking episode a pass. Like, the only part that I enjoyed is the parts where they're, like you said, plugging the comedy into the serious area. That's why I'll tell you right now, favorite scene in the whole fucking episode is when Sister Sage gets dumb.
So I would have to say,
because she finally has lived up to how smart she has been in everything that she's done.
Holy shit.
Every single one of her plans failed. She was the dumbest fucking character they had.
Here's the thing. I thought I was going to be harder on it, but you are. Here's the thing. I guess because of seeing Stranger Things and being let down, and Dexter, and Game of Thrones.
Dude, I'm going to be so fucking hard on this finale. It's like I popped 2 Viagra.
Like, I'm thinking of it in comparison of how I was feeling after the end of those. I was angry like you. This, I didn't feel angry. And I even said it to Bitchy last night. I'm like, I don't feel angry. I don't feel like it's satisfied. The best I could say is I feel nothing. And I guess maybe that's worse, maybe. Maybe it's worse. That might be worse. I don't feel nothing one way or the other. I don't feel like I don't feel like you, where I'm condemning anything. Like, when I was watching it, I'm not going to lie to you guys. When I was watching it, I enjoyed it in parts. Like, because you're first seeing it, you know what I mean? Like, oh, crowbar to the head. Cool. I wasn't being analytical about it, but on the second rewatch, like you.
Oh, it just got worse.
When I was rewatching it, that's when I started to notice, like, I don't feel anything. It was like the Kimiko and Frenchie scene. That should have been impactful. We lost the main character. That should have elicited feelings.
I knew for a fact when we got to the end that whoever was writing the episode, I don't know if it was just the episode or if we're talking about Kripke writing the season, and he's like, well, you got to have this, and you got to have this, and you got to have this. Fill in the in-betweens to get us to that point. Obviously, they have no idea how fucking politics works at all. They don't know how the political structure works, because one, I will ask you, you tell me, what exactly did Ashley do as president that was an impeachable offense? Name one thing. Just one.
I'm guessing being connected to Homelander. She's being judged by what he did. He was part of her cabinet or whatever.
Okay, so then are they the
but president? I don't know how that's an impeachable offense. That's all I could gather from that, because it makes no fucking sense. Because I don't feel like that's how impeachment works.
They have trials all the time for dead people, do they not?
Oh, yeah, even for people who are out of office and alive.
Well, what I'm getting at is, if Ashley's impeached, why didn't they also bring up the previous president for the stuff that he did before Homelander killed him? Like, you can still convict a person of murder even if they're dead. It has happened. I'm not saying that it's like a common thing, but it's happened.
That's what I'm saying.
So that was, so you can think of exactly 0 things that Ashley did as president that are impeachable.
Yeah, especially if we're talking about, let's just say we're talking about.
They showed us exactly 0
after
times.
Homelander. So literally, when she was in office, just took office. You're right. It doesn't make sense, because technically she didn't do anything. She was the vice president who took over, because Homelander took the presidency. So she was technically vice president. So you can't even really impeach her on what he did.
Not to mention the fact that, okay, Ashley, because of the way the succession works, vice president becomes president when the president dies. Doesn't matter how he dies, because we've had presidents assassinated. We've had presidents just die in office. The vice president takes over. So Ashley's vice president was Robert Singer. How the fuck did he become president? They fucking arrested him.
Yeah, that was another thing.
In fucking jail. And you're telling me with how fast the court system can move with Homelander in charge, you're telling me he didn't get convicted in that meantime? A lot of time has fucking passed.
Yeah,
it's all fucking dumb, guy. Every fucking thing in this episode is fucking dumb. They have no idea what they're talking about, and they don't even get their allegories right. Unless you want to say that they got them right, and they're like, oh yeah, Homelander is definitely Trump. It's like, why are you trying to kill a guy after you fucking depowered him? Like, I get why Butcher was trying to kill him, but what would have been nice in that moment is if Huey and MM, because, like, human to human, two guys are going to be able to take one guy. It's not like it's fucking Brock Lesnar standing there. It's Billy Butcher. Like, I'm pretty sure that the two of them, even on the Ozempic, can handle him. Like, if they would have stopped him from killing Homelander there, instead of waiting for this unbelievably convenient scene at the end of the fucking episode, which was so fucking terrible and is only placed so that you can try and get this emotional moment, but I get zero emotional moment from it because it's so fucking dumb. It's like, hey, well, I took the virus, I'm gonna kill everybody. It's like, okay, what are you waiting for? What is everyone waiting for? They're waiting for a thing to happen so they can do their thing.
And here's the thing I wanted to talk about.
Doesn't make any fucking sense, guy. If he wanted to kill all of them, he could have just drove into the fucking middle of New York and smashed that fucking thing on the ground, and then boom, it spreads like the fucking pandemic.
That was another thing too. I took this as, and I'm writing for the writers, let's say, because if you guys don't know,
somebody I also needs to
stories. I took it as what they were trying to go for was he wanted to die. Because it doesn't make sense. Another scene I want to point out is, why did he put the detonator on the table knowing Huey was going to grab for it? And I even
the whole scene is stupid.
Yeah, I talked this over with Bitchy. I was like,
execution of the scene.
I talked this over with Bitchy, and I said, were they trying to make it like he wanted to die? Because that's the only thing I can get out of it is like he wanted Huey to shoot him right away, and when he didn't, that's when he initiated the attack, and then he was trying to grab for the detonator to motivate Huey to murder him. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, that was a suicide thing, and he wanted Huey to be the one who did it. Now, that could be the case.
I don't know. It would have been
off base, but that's what I feel like they were trying to say.
It would have been better if he would have just killed himself there. Like, the dog is dead. Okay. Blow your brains out.
Like, I felt like, yeah, because you hadn't established enough that
what does he have to live for?
Wanted to go on, and this is as stupid as in the comic book.
If you're telling me that it was more about taking down Homelander at the start than taking down Vought, then this makes no sense. But if it's the other way, then it does make sense. Except it still doesn't make sense in the execution, because why wouldn't you just fucking do it? What are we waiting for?
And that's really, you know how I said the pacing felt off? Speed running these fights, but then these moments where they should be setting up so that we have an idea of what the character is thinking, it's dumb, and it's waiting. They put things down and they wait for such a long time, where this could be him talking, explaining what the fuck the motivation is. Like, look, I didn't need a Stranger Things where you sat down by the table and go, what's the plan? Okay. What's the plan? Okay. What's the plan? But I do need to know from somebody what they're thinking. It used to be in this show, you can either tell by their body language or what they were saying to another character and infer what was going through their minds, right? And we talked about this. Go watch Dutton Ranch, much better. But in our Dutton Ranch review, we talked about how you could see what the characters were thinking just by their facial acting, right? With Beth and Beulah, that first exchange, they didn't say nothing, but you could tell they were throwing barbs at each other with their body language. Nothing had to be said. It was just a look where you were like, oh, Beth was about to smack this bitch, but walked away. You know what I say? It's so crazy because it's good acting. And I go to this show and I'm just like, what happened to the acting? What happened to the subtlety? Fuck, we had this for four seasons. Like, we even in this season, we saw parts of good acting. So I can't say it's on the actors. This is not on the actors at all. This is 110% the writing, 110%, because the actors when they act, and I mean, even take out the stupidness for a second, right? Just the exchange
So
between
take out the whole episode.
no, well, just the exchange, right? The dialogue and the acting between Butcher and Huey in the final moments. It's great acting between the two of them. We have the history, there's the back and forth, but the scene and how it's set up and how we got to that moment is so incomprehensibly stupid that you can't feel anything that they're trying to convey because, like you said, we're just sitting there going, why did he wait for the detonator? Wait, did he want to just kill Vought or Homelander? Well, if he just wanted to take out Vought, this doesn't make sense. We just want to take out Homelander.
And then they got to
add ruins the whole scene.
And they have to add the stupid fucking line of, well, there's no point in freaking doing it when there's no one in the building. I was like, but if it's going to spread all over the earth when you've released it in literally one location, what difference does it make how many people are in the fucking building? Like, what? What are we doing? Not to mention the fact that I'm not a skyscraper expert. Are all the skyscrapers just have a big tub at the top holding water for the sprinkler system? I've never heard of this.
It depends on the building. No, it kind of, from my gathering, and I've been in a lot of skyscrapers.
Isn't the fire suppression system typically hooked up to the water main?
Yeah.
Now, why did we not get a scene at all? Like, Huey should have went, if we're going to use characters that we've already been introduced to and not introduce somebody new again for no fucking reason. Why did Huey not go to Stan Edgar and be like, Stan, so you're going to have to close the tower. You're going to have to drain all of this water out of here with people wearing hazmat suits, because if they get exposed to it, they will spread the virus and it will kill all the soups. So the virus is still just sitting in the fire suppression system?
Yep.
And nobody knows about it except for Huey?
Yep.
That's fucked up. I told you guys, so everything in this fucking episode is...
The more you point things out to
I
me,
don't understand how in the fuck you weren't pissed off. I don't fucking get it.
It was really, to tell you the truth, PB, this is what I felt at the end of Yellowstone. It was, and I think it's worse. It's because I was so attached, I felt nothing. I just felt like...
Okay, and
to describe my feelings, folks, it's like apathy, which I think is the worst thing to feel when you're... Because with Game of Thrones, I could still go back and watch it, and I watched the ending again, and I got pissed off again. But it still elicited emotion out of me.
The only
this, I just feel nothing.
The only parts that I like in this episode is the funny shit. Like, at the beginning, I was like, holy fuck, man. We had the whole emotional ending, and now we still have to have this emotional thing with burying Frenchie. Except it wasn't meant to be emotional. It was meant to be funny and lighten the mood a little bit before we go down the dark alleyway of stupidity. Because I was laughing my ass off because I have seen all your assholes. I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then I see people doing reviews and they're like, oh, well, this went on way too long. Like, why are we making asshole jokes in the finale? I was like, because the finale is a joke. That is why. He knew it was a fucking joke, which is why he wrote that earlier in the fucking season. Like, oh, finales are really hard to do. You're never going to please anyone. Yeah, especially when you make a shit one.
And that's the thing that amazes me, because I
don't know how people are like, if you remove yourself from the boys' universe as a watcher, like you remove yourself, like once again in the mindset of this is the only thing that you've watched. If you only watched the finale, I could see how you would like it. You'd be like, oh man, then they kill that guy, and then they kill that guy. It was fucking wild. He got killed by a fucking octopus shoving its arm up his ass. Like, whoa, I didn't see that stuff coming. Yeah, except the setup for everything, if you paid attention at all, doesn't make any fucking sense.
And that's the thing too. That's funny because Bitchy, when she's watched this, she hasn't watched the whole series. I'll be watching it, and she'll come in and see cool moments and be like, oh, that looks awesome, like with the sheep and things like that. But it's been very scattered. And then she watched these last few episodes with me, and she was like, well, I didn't think it was that bad, because she didn't have the full context. Now, well, I'm sure if we went through and watched the whole thing, but even with Game of Thrones, she still wasn't as harsh as we were. But that's probably just.
I mean, can you imagine watching the finale and seeing how it plays out, and then going back and watching the previous stuff? You'd be like, how in the fuck is Homelander beating them?
Like, and here's the thing: my biggest, and the big thing that pisses me off. This is the thing that actually makes me angry. How the fuck do you not pay off something so simple like giving us him killing somebody? Dude, Homelander killed more people in previous seasons than I think he did in this season. He killed like what, maybe 3, 4?
Okay. He kills A-Train.
He killed A-Train. He killed the president.
They
say he killed Frenchie, but I didn't see it, so I'm not counting that. Because they said, "Oh,
he killed Frenchie." Like, come on, Frenchie didn't stab himself. He killed Frenchie.
I didn't see it, so I'm not counting it.
What do you mean you didn't see it?
They cut the scene, and everyone said that, and they even said it. They said that the scene was supposed to be longer. They cut the scene
because you don't need to literally see it. Like, some things you can infer without seeing them because there are 0 other explanations.
Yes, but talking about the history of the show, right?
Sure.
We have always seen him do it. So why now make that choice to not show it when you could? It doesn't detract or add anything to the episode, and it just, well, it does add something because it gives us a fucking definitive way of how, because did Frenchie die from the radiation poison? Did he die from Homelander digging his finger? I don't fucking know because I didn't fucking see the scene. They just cut it to Frenchie dragging his fucking body over.
Okay, so let's go ahead and not count Frenchie. So he killed A-Train, the president, Firecracker, Elon Musk,
and
which, once again, like, did you count him killing him? Because he says that he did a thing that would lead to his death, but you don't see him die.
Yeah, so I wouldn't count that. Maybe he's just floating around.
Okay, so who else are we missing? Who else did he kill in between?
That's the thing. I can't remember. I just remember most of them.
I don't think there is anybody else.
And then, like, look at the first season, right? He kills like 4 people. I'm watching it. Like, in the first episode, he fucking kills somebody, and then the guards, he kills a whole plane of people. Like, so you're telling me in season 1, you can construct a scene, which that was when you were still following
think about this. When he was portraying a good guy, he killed more people than when he's portraying a bad guy.
And so I think
get it together.
That pisses me off.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Thank you, Cue Ball. He killed that movie theater worker, which we don't necessarily see him laser. Once again, we don't see him laser him in half. We see the aftermath.
Yeah, but thank you.
But we still count that. We're still only at a fucking handful. The whole season. Yeah. The person who's supposed to be fucking more evil than fucking Darth Vader.
Darth Vader killed Rogue One.
To be fair, you don't see Darth Vader kill a lot of people in the original trilogy.
And I'm still confident he killed more people than Homelander did in a whole fucking.
Well, you got to figure the hour. So if all their movies are 2 hours long, roughly, you got 6 hours of those. You had 8 hours of this. So in less time, killed more people.
It's just like, and I hate. So can we talk about Eric Kripke's comments, because I think this really shows through the season's quality. He said, and I quote in an interview, that well, you don't need big explosions and a bunch of death scenes to make a good final. And it's like,
you do if that's what your show is based on.
If you're making a show where you've built up for what now 7 years, because it's slightly longer because we had longer waits in between these final seasons. So if you've built this up for this long and people are expecting, look, we're not you need to do a Marvel CGI
buildings. I do have a question when you're done.
But in season fucking, what was it, 3 going into 4 or 4, he lasers a crowd of people. And he lasers a crowd of people, and Ryan throws someone through a wall. Like, you did that in a season prior. You can't show that for your kickoff, where there's literally an auditorium you keep flashing to as if that's going to be important, which, spoilers, it's fucking not. Nobody in that fucking auditorium dies. Nobody watching on New York Stream dies.
I would love to know. Let's just say you have enough psychics to cover it. If there's, not including little children who aren't forming fully developed thoughts, but like teenagers and up. So let's say there's 250 million people in America, roughly.
Yep.
Right. That would be at the theater and could be like, oh, Homelander's insane. He's not God. Okay. How many actual physical seats are there in every fucking movie theater in America? There's no way that you can fit everybody into the movie theater. Not to mention, some people are going to be like, I can't afford to go and see Homelander. Like, I don't know if you'd have to pay for that. I assume you'd have to pay for that. I know the people that went to go and watch The Boys finale, which let's think about this. They went into the theater to watch Homelander. Everything went to shit, and people just started walking out. I wonder what the people that watched this finale did. They went to the theater, they watched it all go to shit, and they walked out. Like, you could. Finally, he does something that actually is parodying real life.
Oh my God. I gotta say, when we were going to review this, I thought, given how I felt about how I was angry at episode 7, I thought, like, I was
only upset at episode 7. I wasn't angry. I was like, we still got time.
Yeah, but you even know from what I see, I was angry. And this, I think it's just so much worse because I just feel apathy. Like, I'm just like, this is, and I said this problem before, and I think this is a symptom that's been happening a lot, especially as we come to the end of these shows. This feels like a writer that's vain and narcissistic and doesn't give a fuck. And it doesn't make me angry. It just makes me, as a creative, and if you guys don't know, I write stories, so hopefully one day I'll get this book out. Editing fucking sucks. Anyways, that isn't the point. My point is, as a writer, your ending is just as important as your beginning. Because let me tell you something, I don't know full strength for this, okay? The beginning of your story sets everybody up. It sucks everybody in. It's super important. But what most people fail to realize, and the second most important thing when you are writing a story, you could fuck up things in the middle. You can get people upset about certain things and choices you make. But you can save your show, your book, or whatever it is you're doing by how well, logically, based on what you've created at that end moment, if you just stop and take a minute and fucking give a shit and pour a little bit of heart. And I think what hurts me about this, and doesn't make me angry, is that I don't feel any heart. When you watch the beginning of the show, there's bold ideas, there's heart in the writing, there's work, there's effort. You feel that. And anybody who watches television shows and likes movies and likes the stuff that we like when we talk about, I hope you're like me, right? Where you can feel the creative process coming through it. It's what sucks you in. You feel it as an audience member. That's what makes us fans of these things. And I think that's what creatives forget, is that you see their passion and their love on display. You see the hard work. And I'm not saying the artist or the fucking sound guy or the donut guy or the fucking crafts guy, they don't still care. All those people still care. But when you have a writer or director or a showrunner who fucking lets them down and they lose that passion, that's what this season is. It lost its spark. It lost its passion. It lost its drive. And when you lose your drive, you lose the plot, you lose the story, and you stop caring. You stop keeping tracks of things in your story. You drop plots. You just don't give a shit. And then when you have audience members who are pointing it out, who are concerned, and you're fucking on interviews, ignoring them and treating them like they're just fanboys or they're just crazy or you're the creative person, you know the story. To me, that's the worst thing. And that's what this that's what this final suffers. It has no heart. It doesn't have any passion. All it has is convenience. And that's a fucking shame. It's a shame. And it actually agitates me. And yes, like two creatures in the middle, like two, what is that? PB?
What? Like two caricatures of middle-aged comic book fans? I'm not sure what that part is in reference to.
I'm not sure what that part is in reference to, but yeah, it's really, I think that might be a a reference maybe to the show. I don't know. You can explain that point, but anyways, it felt like the show lost its heart. It lost its drive. And I don't know if you got that. Maybe I'm getting philosophical and deep here, but it just feels like they lost the passion. And I can confirm because Kripke, we looked it up. He might have been the showrunner, but he didn't write any of the episodes. And you can go and look on.
Not this season, as far as I know.
Yeah, you can look at the other seasons. He was actually involved. And to me, when a showrunner or creative stops being involved in the thing they're working on, there's no oversight. And it felt like you said he drew the bullet points out of what had to happen and had the writing team fill in the blanks and didn't check the work and was just like, oh, yeah, it's good. Sign the checks. And where the fuck did the money go? Like, where did the money go?
What's disappointing is all of the people that talked about the leak from this VFX artist. I wonder if any of them are going to be like, oh, I guess I shouldn't rely on leaks anymore because a person says, oh, this is what I like. Isn't that what you would do if I was putting a leak out on fucking Reddit or 4chan or wherever they fucking release these things? And I'd create an account and then I'd be like, oh, yeah, I did this minor thing so that, you personally aren't going to be like traced back. It's not like they're going to find you in the fucking credits. Like, you don't have to give your name. You just say, well, this is what I did. And then they can look and they can be like, oh, well, 10 people did that fucking job. Which fucking person is it? And then come to find out, if you're doing it from the studio side, you talk to those 10 people and they're like, yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't fucking put anything on Reddit because somebody just made it up. Just made it up.
For how bad season 4 and 5 were, I was expecting a lot worse. That's how I feel, Cue Ball. I was expecting a lot worse, but that doesn't mean it was good.
What could possibly be fucking okay? If all you care about is the final result, like how a story ends, i.e., alive, dead, happy, unhappy, right? Like,
yeah,
the combination of these. Because I would say that Butcher is happily dead now. He didn't have anything else to live for. He's like, oh, good. Somebody fucking killed me. Thank God, because I was never going to stop. He says it right there. He's like, oh, I was never going to stop. Even though I told you every fucking season, oh, once we get Homelander, I'll stop. I'm never going to stop. Like, if you only care about the end of it, and you don't care about anything that led up to it, like, you don't care about the how, I could see how you would like this. If you have any inkling of the how, I don't see how you can like this at all. Because none of it is coherent with everything that we've been introduced to for the entire fucking show.
And so, because we said we were going to talk about the series as a whole, but first let's rate this, and then let's get into doing we'll call it an autopsy on this train wreck. And go what we've
Trainwreck is a better movie than this is a finale. And I know how much you love the Schumer.
So let's go with, what would you rate this if we were just this episode, and then we'll do a season rating.
2.5.
I just want to say, folks, this is another historical first. I've been doing this with PB for a while now. If you've watched my channel, and all of the people who've been popping in and out, thank you. And if you
I feel like I'm being generous.
Share, subscribe, all that thing. This is historically the lowest I've ever seen PB give a final. Did you go this low for Game of Thrones? Because I feel like it should be lower than Game of Thrones.
I would have to go back. I feel like I gave Game of Thrones a 2.
Okay, and you gave this what, a 2.1?
2.5. 2.1
oh,
sounds
okay,
good.
So
2.1 is good.
You did
2.1's high enough.
You gave it a 0.1 over the Game of Thrones final.
Dude, I told you, I haven't been this pissed about a finale since we started fucking doing YouTube. How many finales have we watched since then? I don't fucking know. Plenty of them.
Plenty. And I don't think, and I'm apathetic, but I'm going to say, I'm going to give this a 3 because...
Dude, the only reason it goes that high is exclusively the individual's acting.
I'm giving it a 3.
Like, the scene might be dumb as fuck, but watching Carl Urban and Anthony Starr play off of each other in that moment, I was like, yeah, I believe that's how they feel. It's not how I feel, because how we got here is it's so fucking dumb. I didn't even get to the thing that pisses me off the most yet. Go ahead.
Okay, we'll go to that. But I'm going to give this an apathetic 3, as in I felt nothing. And I don't feel angry enough to rate it lower. And I still feel it's not bad enough, because for me, if you gave Game of Thrones a 2, I would have given it a 1. I would probably lower.
Pretty sure you gave it a 1.
Yeah. So, and I think this is way better than that on that scale. But at the same time, I'm not where you're at, because I'm just not that angry. I think that I don't know if that's worse or not. Like, will I go back and rewatch this again? No, I'll just stop at 3. That's where everything was good.
Rewatching the finale one time was more than enough for me.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah, we rewatched it once. This will be something
which puts it on the same level of The Rise of Skywalker. I watched that twice. Watch it twice.
So, yeah, I think I'm with you. I'm going to give this a 3. This, and according to BB, I'm going too high. It's just because I don't feel anything.
I feel like you were at a 4. I feel like you were at a 4 or a 5 before we started this stream.
I was at a 4.
Yeah, I figure I could talk you down a little bit.
Yeah,
it's fucking dumb.
Because I thought it was worse, surprisingly, than the last episode, which is crazy because we hated the last episode.
See, I didn't hate the last episode as much as I hate this fucking episode.
Well, now in retrospect,
the unbelievable thing. So I had a serious problem when they get stuck in that little fucking hallway, right?
Yep.
Does the fucking that sonic thing, as far as I know, it doesn't stop you from using your powers. Like, that's the same thing that they put when they lured Homelander to the cabin out in the woods.
Yeah.
That is the same system,
device,
whatever, that they used to make him be like, oh, like it annoys the shit out of you. It's like having a terrible fucking headache, was what I got. But he flies there and fucking destroys it, no problem. Like, yeah, it takes the time for him to do it. So in that moment, it made sense. But here it's like, wait a second. I get that the people with the superpowers are going to cover the people without the superpowers. That made sense. One, why are we just shooting at them? Why are we not like drop some C4 down the hole?
Yeah.
Something.
Yeah.
Why not? I don't know. You sealed it off. Why didn't they give them the fucking the Soldier Boy gas? They could have gassed all of them.
No, I know why, PB.
It's so fucking
I know why.
Stupidly put together. Okay.
They didn't do that because they needed Ashley to come down the hallway to free them so she can have a redemption arc that doesn't make any sense, because even that is not clear on. Still, I don't know which side. And it's funny too. I'm glad Bitchy watched this with me because she's across so she can hear me. She was even confused about whether or not Ashley was bad, and she's just jumping it. Like, keep in mind, she has not watched this show consecutively. She's come in and out and seen cool things, but like, oh, that looks cool. I like that. But she's not a fan of The Boys. So
well, I know
funny.
You know they didn't think anything through when they make the joke. Like Ashley gets up there and she's like, "I'm not resigning because I didn't do anything wrong." As far as I know, I agree. I didn't see her do anything wrong as president. Like they don't impeach you for something you did before you were president as president. That doesn't make any fucking sense. And then they do the joke where they're like, "Oh, the unanimous vote to get her the fuck out of there." And I was like, okay. I thought that Ashley would have just, like, when she ran away, I thought she was literally going to run away and, go hang out on the beach like she said she could be, getting fucked by the pool boy or whatever. Yeah. Whatever that fantasy was from, season 3 or season 2. Like, it was a while ago. I thought that's how it was going to end up. Like, yeah, she doesn't have the power that she's looking for, but at least she fucking survived.
And I mean, at the end, you could look at it.
So when they say what they didn't think it through, because they say, "Oh, she was impeached and removed." Impeached for what? Just give me one fucking reason. And they're like, "Well, we don't know what she actually did to get impeached, but we gotta get rid of her from being president so we can bring back the person that we removed from being president." I don't understand.
And it felt
that's not how succession works.
And this is where the setup.
Like if you impeach the president, the vice president becomes the fucking president.
And this is where The Boys New Mexico, like the tweak that I said, where this doesn't feel like the original final.
Mexico, not New Mexico. I said it would have been better if it was New Mexico.
It was New Mexico. You planted the seed in my head.
I know.
But anyways, this felt like we needed to have him in because obviously he's going to be one of the characters in this new show. And so, Jim Beaver, the guy who plays Singer,
that's his name. He's going to be involved in The Boys Mexico as president of the United States.
Look, that's what it felt like because he said, "Oh, I need you to head up this."
Oh, well, if you're saying that's what it felt like, I won't argue against that.
Yeah,
anyone who survived is going to show up in the show.
Yeah, and that's why we don't.
I don't care about any of the people that survived because it's so fucking dumb.
I mean, I will say one thing. There's only one character that I'm going to watch a show on, and you know who that is. And can we just get, here's another thing, and I agree with the internet. Here's another person who got shortchanged, Soldier Boy. Why do you bring him back to do essentially nothing, get fucking headlocked? He spent more time frozen in this season than he did doing anything. And so it's like, I get you want this to just be about, Huey and Butcher and Homelander and their battle, right? But why take him out of the tube in this season in the first place and make him so integral to the plot? And then you've got to give him something to do. It's like, nope, we're just going to throw him in the freezer. He'll be back, obviously, for this new Boys spinoff.
Okay, you want me to look at? I'll look at it slightly cynically. The only reason they thawed him out and brought him into the season is so that he could have the scene with Jared Padalecki. That's it. The only reason.
Because they wanted the supernatural reunion, and you couldn't do that episode without him thawed out. It was like, what's hilarious, because even Bitchy brought this up to me when we were talking about it.
This whole episode is hilarious.
This felt like Marvel, only they're not ridiculing it. They're doing exactly what Marvel and DC does with the cameos. Nothing makes sense in a scene because they wanted the cameo in there. And the irony is they used to poke fun of this shit. That's their whole shtick. And they wind up doing the same exact thing.
Right. They used to make jokes about people. Now they are the joke.
It's like they became the thing that they were mocking.
Absolutely. That's why I said they don't. If you want to make it feel grounded, you have to know how shit works in real life. And when you make Robert Singer the president after you removed Ashley from being president, you obviously don't know how shit works at all. Not one fucking bit.
It's just like, oh man, it's just like, you know what? I'm gonna get down with you now that we're talking about it. I'll go 2.5 as well.
Dude, it's not good.
Because the
like
more
like you said before,
is
and
really
where's
generous.
the budget? Because the sets are shit.
Dude, the sets.
One of the sets that they built was they drove to the beach and dug a hole. Wow.
Okay, so that's one thing I just can't get past, man. The budget. You could do $200 million to fucking the Halo show, which was by far one of the worst shows after episode 1.
But I can see where the money went, at least.
Or the Rings of Power, which is again one of the worst shows.
I don't think I'm going to.
You're not missing anything. It's fucking terrible.
Don't they have a black elf?
Yeah, that's not even the worst thing.
No, it's probably the dumbest though.
That doesn't even crack the top 10 of what's wrong with that show.
That's scary.
But just think about this. Amazon gave these shows the fucking Wheel of Power and all this other bullshit, right? The 200-300 million. Now I gotta assume The Boys, the show that's like one of your fucking flagship shows.
I would say
telling me they didn't throw any money at it? I mean, can
you don't think that The Boys over the last 5 years has been their number one show?
Oh, without a doubt, it has been. Without a doubt, hands down.
I mean, they've had other big stuff like Jack Ryan, Reacher.
I would say it's more popular than Reacher.
I would agree.
Listings. And Reacher's better in every way. But if we're talking about popularity, I would...
That's what I'm saying. I believe that The Boys was the flagship show, which makes me think that Amazon knew what was going to happen, and they're like, we'll put Invincible out at roughly the same time. It's fine.
And you know my feelings. I didn't even feel like that was... I've gotten so much pushback. I didn't even feel like Invincible really did that great on its final. It's not going to be
do great, but at least it fucking didn't do terrible.
But it did. But watching this, I apologize, Invincible people who have been coming at me. You're right. It's not the worst.
Okay, so here's my question. Let's
redo my rating.
I want to shift gears slightly. What's your favorite scene from this episode?
So I sat back last night, this morning, as we're talking. Remember when we were talking about Dutton Ranch just a few short days ago? And we were like, what's our 3 or 4 favorite scenes, right? And we're like, man, well, I got to split the difference because this scene is just as good as this scene. I don't know. PB? I don't know, man. I guess if you put a gun to my head.
What is the least worst scene?
I guess if you put a gun to my head and you're threatening my family's life and I'm on the clock and I gotta really answer this, and Sierra's or the little dictator's in the corner and she's crying and she says, Dad, make a choice, you're gonna murder us. And I'm like, honey, you don't understand. This is a tough one for Dad. Like, but they just cocked the barrel. I guess I would say the split second, and I'm taking out everything stupid from this, okay? So just try to bear with me when I say this. The exchange with Huey and Butcher, simply off of, just take the context of the scene out and everything else that's surrounding it, okay? I know you got to really use your imagination.
Okay, hold on. I can rephrase the question so that we can eliminate this. Okay. Will that help? I think this will help you. What is your favorite acting in the episode? Okay,
Butcher and Huey, and I even think the flashback was good. Like him seeing his brother Letty, because it does tie into season 1. And I did, in my dead soul at that point, get a little. I would say that was because it made sense, not in any other sense of the word, but how it's connected to the overall show. It's the only thing that feels really connected to what we see, know, And it's been set up every season. Like their interaction, their thing, it was the only thing that elicited like the little hiccup in my heart, where and almost like a little glint right here, because this does feel like a natural thing, but I got to take out everything around it. It's like just those two, Carl Urban and Jack Quaid, and their final. Like, I got the emotions from him, everything, the way they were bouncing off of each other, even though he wouldn't die with that fucking shot. God, I'm going to talk myself out of this one, too. Just those two acting. And then the flashback with his brother. That was neat little trick. It would have worked if the scene was better. That would probably be my favorite. And I'm doing a lot of mental gymnastics for you, baby. Like, I'm jumping through fucking hula hoops to try to make it work. Like, if I literally take out everything and just pretend they're in a soundstage acting the part out and we haven't added anything else, like if we were in theater and this scene was acted on stage, I'd give it a standard O. I don't know if you got there because I was doing a lot of like mental hoop jumping there. I don't know if you... I think you get what I mean, though. Like, in general, it elicited something from me other than nothing.
Well, then you got more out of that scene than I did, that's for sure.
And it was only because I watched...
Pretty much any point in any of the scenes when we're getting to the emotional points. So, Butcher Homelander, Butcher Huey, fucking even Ashley and O-Father. I was like, fuck, man, how did we get to this stupid fucking point? But yeah, being that the whole fucking episode is a joke, my favorite part is what I said earlier, Sister Sage, because that was when I laughed the most.
See,
that was what I enjoyed the most. It doesn't necessarily make sense. Once again, I have to take it out of context because having Kimiko have the power is like, okay, so she can do math real well. What math did she actually do to be like, okay, they had Soldier Boy for a decade. We know exactly how many minutes he was exposed to the radiation over the course of a decade, and he got the powers, and Kimiko can regenerate, whereas he didn't regenerate. So 45 minutes. We need 45 minutes in the radiation chamber. How can you know enough of the variables in order to even do the math to figure out how long you have to expose somebody to the radiation to get that exact superpower? Not to mention the fact that they say that the V gives you a random superpower, so wouldn't affecting the V in your system also give you another random superpower because you don't have the same superpower as Soldier Boy, so why would you end up getting the same superpower as him when what was affected in your blood was different?
B, you're looking at this too much. There's a simple answer to that. I forgot where this joke came from, but Breaking Bad. Science, bitch.
Trust the science.
Trust the science. I feel like
that's what it makes me fucking sad. It makes me fucking sad that both of us, in order to even have a favorite scene, have to take it out of context, because in context it just makes you feel like, how are these people this fucking dumb?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. And that's why I was like, I was sitting here because I knew you were going to ask about favorite scenes. And I'm like, I have to, every scene that I would like or that kept me, let's say, invested to keep going, were scenes that I have to take out of the context to which they're written. Because if I'm thinking about it logically, and this is where I couldn't figure out when we were watching Dutton Ranch and we were so talking about it, I couldn't figure out why I was so excited. But folks, it's stupid shit like this. Like I hate people who go, well, it's just the boys, or that's just the way the show is. So, and they excuse writing. No, this is fucking terrible. This is terrible writing. This is contrived MacGuffin, like just quick. It's like,
dude, it's anti. Tell me exactly one thing that would play out differently if Homelander hadn't gotten the V1.
I mean,
everything else would be exactly the same. Every single fucking thing. Like, Kimiko still needs to get the fucking power to depower him because you can't kill Homelander because he's too strong. I suppose allegedly, they could have killed him with the virus.
And that pisses me off.
They just tell you, they're like, oh, well, it's V1, so that's the reason why Soldier Boy doesn't get killed, because it's V1.
That episode with Bombshell and the nursing home thing, but I thought it was one of the better episodes. As a matter of fact, it's one of the higher rated episodes for us. And I said, like, at the end of that, the setup was so good. Like, when he lasers the sky, it was a great visual and stuff. And then you immediately go to the next episode. It's like, how the fuck did the people escape? Because I assume Homelander would have heard them, saw them, super sensed them, something, because they weren't hidden. They were in brush, like,
now
you could see them.
I can give a slight pass on that, because I believe that there are certain powers that are actively used and certain ones that are passively used. So, like, he's not always flying around. He walks places. Why wouldn't you just fly places? Why wouldn't you just float everywhere? So he's not always using his powers. He's not like Cyclops. It's not constantly coming out of his eyes. He has to call up the powers. Whereas, if you shot him, it's going to fall right off, because that is a passive power. You are constantly durable. You don't have to, like, bulk up to be extra durable. You don't have to use the Kaioken.
But then again, so then how does his hearing work too? Is that active or passive?
I believe. Okay.
Really
If he's supposed to be like Superman, is Superman using his super hearing all of the time? No.
But this is where the series as a whole contradicts itself. Because
I'm so surprised.
Because in season 1, he's flying around the building as the one chick, Stillwater, was talking to the dude, and he blackmails her. Now, Homelander's not in the building. They literally show him flying, but he heard the whole thing and decided to kill the guy on the airplane, which kicks off that stuff. And he goes, oh, I mean, I just heard you being disrespected, and you expect me not to say anything. And he wasn't even in the fucking building. So then, if he did that from all the way out there, and even now I'm getting pissed. Even in episode 3 of season 1, Frenchie says, and I quote, because I fucking watched the episode yesterday, he said, I don't want Homelander anywhere near here because he can hear a mouse pissed on in the corner of a room. So I'm assuming, based on, they don't confirm or deny whether he activates it or not, but I assume it's kind of like Daredevil, where he just always hears shit really well. Or if he's at least in the proximity of the voices going on, he's hearing them, whether it's silent or it's a murmur or something else. So, and now I'm getting even more pissed. The heartbeat thing, like, yeah, I know he has to focus super hard to really get in there, like up close for it. But there is a scene where he walks and he hears the heartbeats of these like robbers that are all around while him and Queen Maeve go into this building. So once again, like, you know, even if they move silently, he could probably hear the fucking twig snap or something, or he could have heard them coming. Like,
it's almost like the writers who were writing the later seasons didn't write the earlier seasons and had no idea how to handle things that had already been set up.
Yeah,
and we both like season 3 and 4. They might not be as good as 1 and 2, but we still like 3 and 4.
I'd say 3 was the peak. Like 3 was.
I probably agree with that.
Yeah,
we weren't at the point where we're constantly contradicting ourselves, because I guarantee if you watch that final fight with Butcher and Kimiko, she never directly, like, she doesn't punch Homelander once in the whole fight.
No, she's just sitting in the corner trying to set up for the knee.
Right, like it's so fucking pathetic.
You know what? Even Bitchy,
but we're saying 2-on-1.
Bitchy said, she goes, because it was funny, and now that was a great point, babe. She said, "What is Kimiko doing?" She's like, "Why is she just standing there?" And I was like, "Well, I think she's trying to line up the shot." But now that I'm thinking about it,
What?
she said she wasn't going at all. She was just staring. Right. She's not helping in the least. And it's to a point where somebody, keep in mind, people, folks, but she didn't watch this all the way through like we did. Okay. She is coming in with no context. She's just watching this particular episode. And even she was pointing stuff out like, well, why is this person doing that? And that deep fight, it was hilarious because what you said, she said she goes to be, isn't he supposed to be like Aquaman? How is he as powerful as she is? And I was like, and I said, well, maybe it's because he's in proximity of water, and like I'm thinking the aura of the water is giving him strength. I don't fucking know. Like, if we look at Aquaman in the comic books, who he's supposed to be a parody of, Aquaman on land, I know it's a joke, but he's not weak per se. Like, he's not going to have a one-on-one with Superman, but against another superhero, he wouldn't be a slouch. You know what I mean? And like, even in the Aquaman movies, if you wanted to use that, and not the comic books, he doesn't not have super strength. It's just he doesn't have as much super strength if he was by water.
No. Okay. So I get he's not weak, right? But correct me if I'm wrong, hasn't the light chick been like a decent threat to him for like the longest time? Because she's definitely more powerful. And then when I saw him swim and he's paddling like a fucking newborn trying to walk, I'm like, what the fuck? Isn't he supposed to blast through water too? I don't know. For being a water guy, he sure sucks at swimming, and he just...
And here's the thing, now that she brings that up, there was that's hilarious. And keep this in mind, folks, that commentary you got, she has never watched The Boys consecutively. So she doesn't know the power scaling. She's going off of common sense as a fresh viewer. Okay, so here's the other thing. She's absolutely right, because remember the scene when he crashed a whale into the side of the boys' ship and he like torpedoed?
You said that exactly backwards, guy. You're talking about when they crashed the boat into the whale, not the whale into the boat? Okay, that's a slight difference.
They crashed the boat into a whale. He jumps off and torpedoes out of there to get away from them. So, yeah, why? It's like he flailed because they needed to. Oh, God. It was like he was filling in the water just so he could be killed by the water.
Okay.
Because
would you like me? So, with the stupid setup of the scene of the fact that she's taking him to where he would be comfortable as far as she knows. How fucking dumb. You take him to the fucking beach. No electricity nearby. Water right there. Okay. You know how it could have worked better? If he got out of the water initially. Like, boom, she fucking blasts him, he lands, and you see him just fucking beeline out of the water, and she'd be like, why is he running back towards me? I guess he wants to kill me, but like, why doesn't he have his fish friends help him? And then he come out and, he's the deep, so now he's panicking like, phew, I just barely fucking got away. Like, have that fucking squid arm come up onto the fucking beach and take a swipe at him and just barely fucking miss. And she'd be like, why the fuck are you running away from the water? And he's stupid and he'll tell her. Like, the deep is dumb like that. And then you have the battle essentially play out the way they did. Have them pound on each other for a little while, and then boom, you blast them into the water again, and they kill.
Yeah, and once again, major deduction. You introduce Samuel L. Jackson as the shark. You have a great
bring him back
reference right there. Samuel L. Jackson, Deep Blue Sea, died from a shark biting him in half, and him playing the same kind of shark, killing the deep. Now that would have been great humor. Everything would have still been shitty in the show, but I could have put a point up and laughed at that moment because I'm gonna be like, I see what you did. You had Samuel L. Jackson. He's a shark. He got eaten by a shark. Now he eats the deep. It's kind of like a revenge thing. That would have been see, we could have rewrote this season finale. I feel like using most of this. The elusive
unicorn
caught in her natural habitat. What is she looking for?
Where's your money?
I love you. All right, fine. You asked for it.
Can I guess on what she was looking for?
There you go. Here you go, sweetheart. Don't spend it in one place.
Can I guess what she was looking for?
Oh, well, then damn, give me my 4
That's
months.
what
I would guess, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. She was looking for a way to save 15% at moviepalette.com.
I thought you were going to say Geico. I'm like, I do say 15% more.
At moviepalette.com. How did she save 15%?
Oh, she could just put in code ZONE15, and that'll stack on top of any sales they already got going on. So say something's 50% off, you will get another 15% off of that 50%. What a freaking deal, Movie Palette. What a deal.
I love too how if you're just coming into this review, you hear a promo from moviepalette.com and they're like, that wasn't in The Boys, but it sounds exciting. It sounds better than the final.
Ooh, The Boys it's very popular. I feel like being that it's 8 episodes, you could get the season, like you get all 5 season movie palettes. It would be interesting to see how does the palette stay the same? Because I don't know off the top of my head if they keep the color scheme the same for all 5 seasons, or if it goes in a wave where you can see brighter colors and darker colors, because obviously the brighter colors are meant to signify the good guys and the darker colors are meant to signify the bad guys typically, except in the Batman, all of the dark scenes are Batman winning. He doesn't fucking win in the movie at all. What am I talking about? 6 out of 10.
No. After this, I think you should give Batman 7 because at least things happen. At least it makes sense.
As much as I dislike the fact that Batman isn't the person that solves anything in the movie, as much as that annoys me, at least the stuff that actually happens makes fucking sense.
Because I'm like, I think you got to reevaluate after this, BB. I think you might have been too hard on Matt Reeves.
3.5 better. 3.5 better.
I feel like it's a 4.5 better.
I'm saying that the Batman is more than twice as good as this finale. I feel like that's fair.
No, that is fair. So let's get into the big one here, because there was one thing I wanted to wrap to be done with this.
I have a feeling that the next Batman is going to be more like a 9.
Me too. I'm super excited, by the way. Better show, by the way. Watch The Penguin. Don't watch The Boys. Watch The Penguin.
The link for moviepalette.com is in the description. Go click on that. Put in code ZONE15. Save yourself 15%. Help out your favorite YouTube villain. Guaranteed to arrive before Christmas.
So,
what scene is your least favorite scene in this episode? And you got lots to pick from. What is the worst scene in this episode?
The whole thing.
You must choose. This is how we do it.
This is another one where you put a gun to my little one's head. My mom is held hostage. The wife is in the corner pleading. All the guns are cocked. I'm sitting here. They got me rope tied down. Fucking gun to the back of my head. And this is a tough choice. My family's screaming and crying. They're like, you do this for a living. How can you? They're like, you guys don't understand. The whole thing is terrible. Just pick a scene. I can't. It's like asking me to pick one thing. Okay, so the worst.
Bitchy left already?
Yeah.
Damn it.
The worst scene for me has to be the Homelander address. And why I pick that in particular is because one, we're not going to get super political here, but the allegory is fucking stupid. And two, nothing happens. They hype this up. And folks, I in case you haven't heard, I write. So I know how to set scenes. Like, a book is different, yes, but I know how to place you into the story. And so imagine for a second, folks. All right, I'm going to go full screen for this. Imagine for a second that I write a scene in my book. And I put what they call a Chekhov's gun in there, right? You see an auditorium. I flash you to this auditorium multiple times. I plant the seed in your mind that this auditorium is important. Either the villain, the heroes, side character, something with this auditorium is going to become a main focal point for whatever's going on. I set up this address that makes you believe that because I've set up through my story, this one character is going to lose it. In my mind, I have set you up for that. The character is going to go into this auditorium and fucking murder all of these people. And you're sitting there waiting. You're waiting for the gun to go off, right? You're waiting for the bomb to go off. You're sitting there waiting. But nothing happens, right? I'm constantly flashing you the scene. I'm planting it in your mind. This is important. So anybody out there, if you can answer to me, what the fuck was the point of flashing back and forth constantly between this address and the auditorium if it is detached from everything going on in the story? If you are setting up an arc where your villain is supposed to go insane and he's saying in his words, he's going to reap the harvest and he's gonna chaff the fields and he's gonna like fucking murder at least millions of people to balance everything like fucking Thanos, right? And you are showing me this auditorium constantly and you do nothing with it. That is not even a subversion of expectations. That is a pointless waste of time. That scene contributes fucking nothing. We only go back to it to watch people walk out. Like I'm sure people walked out of the theater after seeing this piece of shit. You cannot show stuff and not have a payoff for it in some kind of a way. That's not how good writing works. If they show you two characters that are at a table and they keep on showing you this bomb underneath the table, right? And the tension is supposed to be that we as the audience know that there's a fucking bomb under the table, but the characters interacting do not know there's a bomb underneath the table. Them showing us the bomb is for us to build tension, to get us going, oh shit, man, all these people are going to die. They're all in this precarious situation. They can't escape. When you do nothing with that, that is called a cock tease. That is called a waste of time. However you want to phrase it. And that is the worst scene to me because it's clearly put there now that we have the whole episode and we see the whole context for no fucking reason. There is no reason to flash to Times Square, to flash to the fucking auditorium, and show people that are being highlight on this tablet. And you flash on the tablet and show these all turning red. People stop believing in him. To be interrupted so that there's no fucking payoff? It's bullshit. It's garbage. And it's terrible fucking writing. Even if you're trying to subvert somebody, in the context of a subversion, it means not that you don't fucking play a scene out at all and you do something completely different. That's not a subversion. A subversion is that you play out that same scene, but instead of going over there, they do something over here that we weren't expecting. There's still got to be set up either way. Like, you could have even played it. He doesn't go to the auditorium. He goes to Times Square and starts lasering people in the middle of fucking Times Square. But once again, where's the budget? because they didn't have the budget for big explosions. So then there's no payoff. So then why show it? That's pretty much this whole episode. If you aren't going to pay something off, then the best way or the best thing to do is to not show it. Because then you set a certain expectation that you have no intention of following through on. Okay, that PB, you got me there. That made me slightly angry. Just even talking about that. That's
have you made it down to a 2 yet?
You know what?
Uh-huh.
Because I gave I'm still higher than Game of Thrones. I'll give it lower than you because I gave it lower than you for Game of Thrones, and now I am kind of mad talking about the whole auditorium thing. Yeah, I'll give it a 2. Because that auditorium scene, and let me just ask you, even though things were going shitty, didn't you, as a viewer and someone who's followed this show so long, when they kept flashing the auditorium, I didn't even want it to be Homelander necessarily, but I thought, being that there were fucking people taking down the thing and highlighting people in red, and we know their psychic powers can fucking explode people's heads, I thought Homelander would say a signal or something, and you'd start seeing people dying in the auditorium.
Well, I would say for that one, I don't know if I don't necessarily have a problem with that exactly, because at least from the way that he set it up, I'm not saying that the setup is great, but from how he set it up, he wanted to give the whole freaking address and then send these people this direction, these people this direction.
But it's still like,
which makes me think so what did they instruct everybody to, like, hey, when this is over, stay seated and we'll tell you when you can go? I assume you had to be instructed to something along those lines, or else, like, oh, the credits are rolling by.
And, like, why not have him to make this better, right? Just like in fucking season 3, when he gives that
difficult to make any of it better.
It gives the address and lasers the people in the crowd. Why not have him giving the speech on the White House lawn? You fix all my issues. Because then someone could whisper in his ear as he's talking, and he goes into his culling thing, like he's going to chaff the wheat thing, right? That would have been a good time to have someone whisper in his ear, so like, hey, we're losing them. And then kind of see him look off at the tablet and just be like, then he could do the whole thing like, oh, I see you guys don't love me like I love you, blah, blah, blah. And then have him start fucking lasering people. And you could still play it out the same. Have Huey and fucking, or not Huey, fucking Kimiko and fucking Ryan and whoever else. You could have them still tackle him, but have the fight like outside around people where you get this sense of, yeah, he is about to murder people. I never once, even at the end of the speech, got an inkling that he was ready to murder everybody. Because like you said, it doesn't make any sense. Like, let me ask you this. Did you get the feeling? Did you get the hint? Like, did you ever at one point feel like, oh, this is the point where he's going to, because even in season 4, my favorite scene in the whole entire Boys, right, was the scene where he was locked with the scientist. And why that works so much better than this does is because
the scientist.
Remember when he finds out the V he was made, and he goes back to the lab.
They created lasers that guy in the dick.
Yeah, because it comes out of nowhere, and it's so sudden and it's so quick, and it gives you that sense of, after you see that, you're like, he could snap off at anybody, right? But you don't get that in this because he's so disconnected from the people he's threatening, right? There's no, he's in the White House, and I assume where this broadcast was in the church where those people were gathering, because you see the statue of Homelander in the background and stuff. So it's at the church.
I mean, that was one of the places, yes.
But they're flashing to that place. So in my mind, I'm assuming he's going to do his Superman out of the White House, go to the church, and start fucking lasering people. There's a disconnect in the distance between him and the people he's threatening. So the threat doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel immediate, right? That's like, setting up a fucking bank robbery and you have a cop talking about capturing and shooting the robbers, and he's still at the fucking police station and the fucking people are getting away. It logistically makes no fucking sense. So yeah, that really grinds.
Which is why it fits in with the rest of the episode, because it makes no sense.
That's what bugs me the most. Is
like I don't see how these things are payoffs. And it's not like it's original. Like we seen Father die when Wanda killed Black Bolt. Same fucking setup. And it was definitely cooler when Black Bolt did it because he essentially did it to himself.
Yeah, and it logistically made
if he would have just kept his mouth shut instead of freaking out.
Even though that setup was kind of stupid too, because John Krasinski.
Oh, I didn't say it was great.
Yeah, but it was still. You're right.
Better than this.
It made sense, like where people were placed. But he's sitting here, like I get threatening a nation, and you're doing it from the White House, but it felt like they wanted the aesthetic, and like I said, the stupid fucking allegory, where they didn't think about what makes sense when he's doing these threats. Is it more threatening to have a crowd of people and then see on national TV what he's doing to other people to terrify them, or have him fucking removed from everybody, just making a fucking public address and then fly to wherever he's going to go? Well, that's again a MacGuffin, because you're leaving time for the heroes to grab him before he flies off to do the fucking murder.
It was super disappointing, because when we were both talking about the leak, we were like, oh, he's going to kill this entire group of reporters and everything. And I was like, this is going to be bitching. Like, we're finally going to see Homelander actually go off the fucking chain. Because the times when he kills more than one person at a time, like when he lasers the private plane in half, I got to assume he's like, I want to say we see at least 4 people on there, and none of them are the pilot or co-pilot. So, like, rounding down, I'd say he's killing at least 6 people with one thing. But it's not like gory and devastating and personal. He just lasers the plane in half and flies away.
Or the most popular scene from season 1 with the passengers, where he's like, stay the fuck back.
You don't see him kill anybody. You see him kill the terrorists.
Yeah, but you don't see him kill the crowd. He lets them die, but
right.
He didn't actually laser any of them. And that's what I mean. This is supposed to be your most threatening moment, but yet they remove the threat from everybody, and it gets rid of the tension, because you took what's supposed to be your most threatening element and put it on a fucking island.
Not to mention they pulled.
You continue, because I gotta use the bathroom. I'm getting pissed now. I gotta go use the bathroom.
Not to mention,
go ahead.
They pulled all of the tension out of the scene. Oh God, how was I gonna set this up? I had it in my head, and then you distracted the shit out of me with your Spider Noir lead character there on screen. Oh fuck. Where was I going with this? Feel retarded now, just like this fucking episode was. Oh, they pulled the tension out of the scene with Homelander because they don't give it a moment to rest. Like, he finishes threatening everybody, and then Billy breaks through the fucking door, and then it's game on from that point. Like, I don't understand why you don't take... You got the time, cut fucking 30 seconds someplace else, and show as he gets into the unteleprompted part, like he's off prompter, he's speaking from the heart now. Once he gets to that part, back to all of these psychics just fucking hitting the board like crazy, like this person's afraid, this person's afraid, this person's like just lighting it up so that we're, we make it down to that 20% mark, because that's what they set up with the focus group. Only 20% of people truly believe. So you take it down to at least that point of them clicking like fucking crazy. Because what? At most, when they show us the tablets, when he's like mid-speech, they've done like maybe 5 or 10%. And I presume those are the ones that they're going to kill. You're marking people for death. You're not marking people for safety, are you?
No, I took that as those were the people who've been saved.
Right. And they don't give it any time for us to sit in the, holy fuck, he just threatened fucking 200 million people.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's no stakes, there's no tension, there's no feeling like, look, we're in the and I'm going to keep on referencing this because I did notice we had 147 reviews for our views for Dutton Ranch. So good on you, better go. But for Dutton Ranch and even Yellowstone, because I'm rewatching Yellowstone again. I'm almost through season 1. Fuck, I forgot how good it was in the beginning. It still was, it stays consistently good. But the thing is, when you're watching that show, there's a lot of talking. I would say 90% is a lot of people talking about shit, right? It's not very driven by, say, murder and mayhem. That's reserved, but the conversations, there's so much tension in them. Like, I just got done where Beth went to the dude's house and had his wife fucking her assistant. And
Wait, what? Say that again?
The guy we said who's a villain in everything we see him in, the old guy.
Yeah.
And he had his wife, and then Beth went over. She saw the wife in town, and she's like, "Oh, you can drink. I stopped drinking. I'm on the wagon." But she goes, "That doesn't mean you can't have her." So they go to the rich guy's house, and he goes in and he sees the fucking her assistant that she had. Rest in peace. She sees him like getting his dick sucked, and he's like, "Whoa, you're a real firecracker!" Blah blah blah. And then he sits down next to Beth, and this is what I'm talking about. There's no guns, there's no direct threat, but he says to her, "I just want you to know you have messed with the wrong person." And she's like, I've heard that one before. And he's like, but in that threat, you feel from that character, we haven't seen exactly how dangerous he is. And he doesn't make a threat like, "I'm going to kill your family and fucking murder the steers," or whatever. But just the way his voice drops, and he's not even like, he's a real quiet angry, but you can feel it. And there's that tension there because Beth's not taking it seriously, as she often does when she's threatening people. But this guy, we've never seen him this pissed, and his acting, the way his face just drops, and he's not even like red in the face, pissed off. It's like this darkness underneath his eyes, and he's like, "You have no idea what you just done. Like, there will be consequences." Basically, you feel that tension, like, "Oh shit, is this motherfucker gonna flip out like here because he just seen his wife fucking her assistant?" Like, it's the way the scene is set to where they're placing you in that, and you know what the stakes are, and everything's clearly fucking defined. And you're sitting in the moment going, "Wow, this dude might just fucking pull out a gun and shoot everybody here." Like, bro's whole life was just wrecked. And then on top of that, she said, "I'm coming for your company too," in the stocks. So like, this dude literally has nothing left. He doesn't give a fuck. But instead, he leaves and he drives off. But even as he's driving off, you're sitting there as a viewer going, "Oh shit, like, what is he gonna do? Like, this dude's been pushed to the brink. Like, the next scene, he could just come in with a Tommy gun and fucking blow everyone down." Like, when I first watched that as a viewer, I thought he was going to drive away, get a gun, come back and shoot his fucking wife. Like, that was like one of those, you know what I mean? Because, like, it had that feel to it, like that person you fuck with and they don't say anything and they just leave, and then they come back to the house and they fucking murder their whole family. Like, he had that aura as the kids say, about him. But you felt the tension. And like here, like you said, and like I said, they remove what's supposed to be causing the tension completely from the scene. So what are we supposed to be tense about? They're clicking buttons on an iPad. Like, but there's nothing, there's no bomb. It's just locations that they couldn't apparently afford to put the same people in the locations. You could have had the speech on the lawn. You could have had it.
Where in the fuck did the budget go for the season? I'm so confused.
I'm so confused.
Because it's not like the stuff that they did. So like I will say the look of it when he cracks home, like as dumb as it is, because he didn't know how to use the crowbar apparently with the proper leverage. Okay, we get past that. But the look of it, like how it goes in, how it cracks open, and you see, piece of skull there, the blood and brains in his head, all that stuff. I was like, yeah, it looks better than it would look if I'm watching The Terrifier. I agree with that. It looks better. But holy fuck, man, if the season was a $200 million season like it seems to be with their big shows, like they don't have a problem spending tens of millions of dollars on these things, where the fuck did it go? Like, how much are we paying the actors for these episodes if we have to dial back the CGI to the point where they're like, okay, we're going to build a little Oval Office, we're going to fight in there, we're going to cut the carpet apart.
It's like, I'm not asking for like Invincible season 1, Homelander people through a fucking train and the bodies are just splatting all over them. I'm not asking for that. Well, holy fuck, you can't get.
I kind of was.
What, we could just even have people coming in and go, Homelander, they all hate you. And he's like, rah! And extra Bob number 2 and Billy Boy 3 get fucking just ripped apart, like just to show his anger. That's what it means. No threat.
I mean, that was part of the VFX leak too, right? That Homelander was going to kill O-Father because he was giving him like
yeah, dude,
a vibe.
Why didn't the leaks happen?
The leaks would have been very visually impressive, I presume, but apparently we didn't have the budget for that because we spent it on the catering truck because beef is expensive now or something.
The gas for the cast and crew to get there.
But this show was made a while ago.
And it was made a while ago.
Kripke's so progressive. You presume Kripke would let the people just doing like the VFX and the SFX work. They could just work from home, right? They don't actually have to come into the office because he's a cool guy. He's a moron. And I'm okay. I remember a question I was going to ask you a while ago, like fucking over an hour, because you were talking about finales, right? And how you don't need the finale to be like extravagant per se, but it needs to pack a punch. So you consider we do the 1v1 here, 5 seasons, right? 5 seasons versus 5 seasons of Supernatural. What happens at the end of season 5 of Supernatural?
Oh, well, nice.
Is there like a big battle? Because I mean, they could be fighting demons or whatever, but you don't picture Supernatural as being this like we're putting a bunch of the budget into these fight scenes, right?
Okay, there isn't a big battle per se, but there is a hole leading to hell that they're both struggling around. That's determined, and Supernatural was more built between the emotions between two brothers. So basically, Dean's got to throw him in the fucking hole, and Sam is beating the ever living piss out of him. He's bloody. He's whatever else. And he looks at him and he says, I love you, man, blah, blah, blah. And then Sam gets flashbacks of all the whole seasons leading up to from when they were fucking kids to this very point. And because Lucifer took over his body. So he snaps out of it for one time and he's like, Dean, you gotta let me go. And fucking the other angel guy who's fighting with them, he tackles him and they both go into hell. And we get Bobby, who's played by Jim Beaver again, who's in this show. He gets exploded. like pop like a fucking water balloon. That's one of the things that happens. Some dude gets their neck snapped. Like it
and this
wasn't
is on
like
a CW budget.
And this is on a CW budget. Let's just
That's
say
what I'm saying, guy.
And the penultimate episode is this scene where they're trapped in a convenience store with hellhounds, which are, if you guys don't know, they have to CG animate it because how they show it on Supernatural, they're all black, fucking ripping people apart. People are fucking dying. This is the penultimate episode, and we also get a battle with the devil. Yeah, like it felt like to me with that show, he had more heart into how he was doing it, and right up to the ending, every one of those fucking episodes has his name somewhere in the fucking credit. Now, jump to this. You got a bigger fucking budget, a network
he's in the credits for every episode. Do you mean he is getting a writing credit for every
as
episode?
a writing credit? He's in the credits, of course, but I mean like
every episode of The Boys it says producer Eric Kripke.
Yes, I mean like writing wise, like if you look comparatively, Supernatural's end credits to this, I feel like you would see his name in more of the stuff than you saw in here. It's like producer and then whatever else, and then you're done. And then it just, you see all these other fucking people, and it's like, well, why does Joe something doing this that Eric would do? It felt like he was like, okay, this is the end. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to do Boys fucking Mexico and Vought Rising. You guys handle it. That's what it felt like. It felt like he pulled a J.J. Abrams. This is just an idea. I have no clue where it's going. Fill in the blanks. Good luck. That's what it fucking felt like. Like,
so did they fill in? Did they? Like I said, if this episode makes sense, 4.5 seasons doesn't make sense. So am I meant like if I go back and rewatch this, I'll be like, well, this is fucking bullshit. Every fucking time I see Homelander fight, I'd be like, well, this is bullshit. No wonder Maeve was able to make him bleed. He ain't that fucking strong because he can't even handle these two fucking guys. And he's not even trying to necessarily fight them. He's trying to get away. And it's like, oh, he's got super speed, but not today. He can laser Kimiko in half, but not today. What the fuck?
He says, and I was looking up interviews because there were some bullshit interviews.
Fuck, man.
And he says,
what's IGN say?
No, this is on the big ones, Entertainment Tonight.
Yes.
He says, Eric Kripke on the terror of keeping fans satisfied. And I just want to, you keep talking because I want to see if I can hear the moment he said something fucking stupid.
Keep talking about what? Like disdain for everything that they did in this episode? Like I couldn't fucking believe, because I didn't do it last night, but because I wanted to be surprised by the ending of it. Like I didn't want to see where I was in the runtime, but when I rewatched it today so that the woman could watch it, it's 1 minute and 41 seconds of previously on, and then it's like 7 minutes, or no, it's 6 minutes, something like that. The whole runtime for the episode from when that actually starts is like 61 minutes at most. So he didn't even give the 65 that he said he was going to give, because he's like, oh, well, we got to put these credit scenes in here so that you can see the cast making this show. That black dress looks fucking great.
Oh yeah. Starlight, we
she looks like she's trying to do her best Brie Larson impersonation.
And she nailed it. Okay, so let's listen to this.
Balancing your true vision with making fans happy.
A great question. I would say it was right in the middle of writing season 3 that we got a pretty good handle on how we wanted things to end. So
Kimiko looks to me like she's saying, no, not at all. Did you see the head shake there? Let's go back for a second here. I just wanted to see the head shake.
It's a tricky balance, right? Because You need to give the audience.
I don't think you actually went back.
Viscerally and cathartically, because you need to.
You gotta go back farther.
And 3 that we got a pretty good handle.
See, look at did you see what you did with her?
Things to end.
It's like, oh yeah.
It's a tricky balance, right? Because you need to give the audience, I think, viscerally and cathartically what they want, but you have to do it in a way that they don't expect, right? And I think a lot of shows outsmart themselves, and they say, the audience really wants this, so we're not going to give it to them. And and then everyone ends up super disappointed. And
like
I live in terror of that. Like so many shows get judged retroactively based on how they feel about the finale. So that's like a lot of pressure. So
pause.
I think
not everybody, but the vast majority, even before the finale was out, the vast majority of people that I've seen talk about this show, which is way too fucking many because I got too much fucking time on my hands. That's not the point. The point is the vast majority are like, oh man, it really sucks that this season is as bad as it is when all the other seasons, like season 4 might not have been great, but everything before that it was fantastic. Everybody keeps saying how great The Boys was at the beginning while saying that it's been shit to the end. So he's entirely wrong. He's like, oh, well, the whole show is going to get called shit because the finale is shit. It's like, that's not how it goes. Like, you don't even see people say that about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is the exact opposite. Like, it got more backlash than this is going to get because it was a bigger show. And everybody goes, oh, yeah, the show, like some people will say that it was great up until the end of season 4 because that's when they completely ran out of book material. I say it was good up until the end of season 6, but nobody says it was good up till the end. But you always go, oh man, like getting to that point was freaking great. He's such a moron.
I think the things happen that they want to have happen.
No,
but I think there's some terms.
I just wanted it to make sense, guy.
It's a really
That's it.
emotional.
I just needed it to make sense.
It's like so much of TV is especially the end of TV is like saying goodbye to friends. And I think we really lean into that.
You know what they could have done? If you want to do it in a way that people aren't expecting, you need to figure out some way to make Kimiko, like if we're going to say that she gets the fucking beam, whatever, you have to figure out a way to make her invisible. I don't know if it's an extension. I don't know if you have to get a psychic on your side so that like there's a sleeper cell in there. And they can, blind Homelander to the person that's standing in front of him so he just sees what's going on. And in the middle of his fucking speech, she's just like standing there and then boom, fucking beams in. Because then it would be out of nowhere. Because I feel like it's established that a lot of his superpowers are not active all of the time, or else a whole lot of shit in the entire show, because he doesn't like gain powers as the show goes along. He doesn't change powers. Like Butcher used to have the laser eyes and now he's got the cancer tentacles. Like he changed powers. Homelander has the powers that he has. That's what it is. So he's had them the entire fucking show. And if they're all actively on all of the time, the rest of the show, all of his scenes don't make sense. All of them.
Viewers be that things could still work out for Huey and Starlight and Kimiko and Frenchie.
I would
Dude,
just say that,
fucking,
like,
that's the
listen,
worst fucking
anything
scene.
can happen, anything at all. And so how hopeful can they be? They should manage their expectations for anything and anyone and any couple.
Yeah. I will say this. I think at the end of season 4, we finally see Kimiko and Frenchie share a moment, and then they're tragically pulled apart. And so we'll find Kimiko at the beginning of season 5 trying her hardest to get back to him.
She doesn't sound like that in the show. She's doing a voice?
Yeah.
It's like Annie sounds like, or Aaron sounds like Annie. I don't know. Kripke should have put himself in the show and let Homelander kill him.
And we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
The most rewarding for you to portray.
Yeah, I think it's
okay. So the rest of it, but I wanted to just get the gist of what all the things he was saying that were completely
Collider. What is the title of Collider's video?
Oh, it was Eric Kripke interview. Full
Shilling for the boys better than anyone ever could.
Yeah, I even got a notice, which I'm going to watch after we're done with this, from Angry Joe that just says WTF.
Oh, I wonder how long his fucking review
Voice
is.
Critical says
I feel like his review is going to be like 2 hours long.
Because I want to see if they make the same points we do. That would be very interesting.
A lot of people make the same points we do.
But apparently I have a cool hat. So thank you. I appreciate
a cool hat.
So let me see.
The Boys final season epic fail. What the fuck? This was a lie. I feel like he is going to reference the leaks.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna play, and everybody go check it out because I am actually a huge fan of Angry Joe. I have his T-shirt. You done fucked it up. I should have wore that for this review, honestly. So let me just give you 2 seconds, and you could tell by the face.
He's wearing his Kal-El suit.
Yeah. Hold on. I'm just gonna play that little bit.
What the fuck was that? Are you serious? All I wanted to see was Homelander losing his shit, going crazy, and killing a bunch of people. Is that too much to ask? That doesn't even happen here? Was that too much to fucking ask for? That you hyped yourself with these fucking posters? So these fucking posters were a lie. These posters are a fucking lie. This poster doesn't happen. This poster where he's flying in space doesn't happen.
We didn't see it. It was off screen.
This, another fucking lie. The Vought Tower never fucking explodes or anything. There's no fucking destruction. How the fuck is some broke ass Quicksilver parody ripoff the peak of season 5? Season 5 peaked in episode 1 of season 5. Are you fucking... Fuck you. Fuck you. You gave up. You are the biggest show on Amazon. It says right here, the biggest show of Amazon. Did you pocket the money or the budget? And now what? You're banking on the 2 spin-offs?
That's what I fucking said. He took the money.
Are you? You put salt, you French. You put it back in. Oh, fuck.
I think we need to just do a stream separate going over that review because everything he just said in the first 5 seconds of that was everything we were. There was no destruction. There was no soldier boy. He summed it up perfect. Where the fuck is the budget? We said that 5 times in this review. Where the fuck's the budget, Kripke? Where'd it go?
Would you like to know what the worst scene is in the entire episode?
Oh, that's a tough one. Good luck. I wouldn't.
And it wouldn't have been bad until the literal worst line of the entire series is the last line of the entire series. Only if you know the context. If you don't know the context, you'd be like, "Oh, was Huey's grandma named Robin?"
Oh,
dude, it's so fucked up. It is.
Oh,
and I asked the woman, and she's like, "What in the fuck? Did they just call her Robin?"
He named, dude. So just ladies out there,
this is the worst callback I've ever seen in all of you. If you want to tell me, no fucking woman is letting you name her fucking first child or any child for that matter after your ex-girlfriend.
your ex first love. And like, look, I get what the co-op back's supposed to be.
No, we don't know if that's his first love. That's never established. He could have loved somebody when he was in fucking high school.
I mean, but
I'm going to assume it was.
I'm going to assume it was because of how it kicked everything off, and they were talking about being together. Like, because I literally watched the first episode yesterday. They were talking about moving in and getting married and stuff. So I'm going to assume one of the people he's loved a lot, and based on Huey in the beginning, I'm going to assume he hasn't had a lot of girlfriends. So let's just hypothetically say it's his first love, right? Even if that's the case. Based on everything from this whole show and Annie's personality and the way he is and stuff, and she knows about Robin. What? Dude, no woman would do it. I'm going to ask Bitchy. I'm going to ask Bitchy when she comes back. I'm going to go, honey, if we have a child together, do you mind if I name our next child, if it's another little girl dictator, can I name it fucking Stacy, who, by the way...
Okay, I did remember. I did remember.
I may or may not know, but let's just say Stacy or Felina or something like that.
No, it's not. I thought of that, but it has to be essentially a widow situation. Like the point is, because you want to have some emotion behind it, is that Huey loved her right up to the moment that she died. It's not like they had a falling out and it's just like another ex-girlfriend.
Yeah. And so, and we don't even know, like, you could still be with somebody else, be together, married, whatever, you love them, but
Absolutely.
Still love the other person because you never got any resolution on that. She died. Dude, that is fucked up now that I think about it. Dude, you picked a great, because I was so mad about that's fucking terrible. This literally is conceivably bad from beginning to end, right up to the last moment. Because if you cut that out, that kind of could be redeemed. Even though my other complaint, and ladies, you can sound off if you know more about this. Obviously, we're men, so we don't know how this goes. They go into the store, right? Now, and I'm sure you were there as well, when my lady was pregnant. How is she fighting crime? Like, I get she might have more endurance and whatever else, but she just got done saying when Huey comes in,
Whoa. Hold on. You're telling me that you believe that because she's pregnant, she's extra powerful?
No.
We just literally watched that in the other show. Eve lost her powers when she got pregnant.
No. That's what I'm getting to. How is she still fighting crime? And she just got done puking, peeing, and she lays it all out. I assume that's supposed to be a joke. And yet...
that's not a joke. That's what pregnant people do.
No. They play it up as a joke. Like, he's like, oh, what have you been doing all day? That kind of a thing. But, like, how is she still fighting crime? And what I assume is she's a few months in. Like, she looks like she may give birth.
How many months do you say Starlight was pregnant?
I'll say 5 to 6.
Did you hear that?
No.
She says 5 to 6 months.
So, I'm no woman. I don't know the logistics of it all.
If you say so, girlfriend.
But I do know what I saw. How the fuck is she rocketing through the sky to where I perceive the crime is and fighting people in fucking Crocs?
I'm not changing my shoes.
None of this right to the ending makes no goddamn sense.
I mean, I'll give him credit. I'll give him credit for making the worst line of the entire fucking show, the last one.
I don't think I've seen that either, because it's just like, even women, and it'll be interesting.
Billy Joel could not save this episode. Not to mention the fact that didn't the last review I said I don't care necessarily how any of it happens as long as it makes sense, right? Did I not say that? I just wanted it to make sense. I didn't care who lived and who died. I just wanted it to fucking make sense. And the only thing that I wanted to fucking see, we didn't fucking get. What are his 2 favorite Billy Joel songs?
Oh yeah, we don't even hear. I assume maybe the one playing at the end.
I mean, I would like to think
that's them going.
They had a good soundtrack for the episode. That's how they made it up to 2.5. Acting and soundtrack. Writing, man. Directing, world building, everything is a fail except for the acting.
And
which I feel sorry for them, because now I feel like, I mean, obviously some of them are fully well, I'm saying, like, some of them, like Carl Urban, he's fully established. Like, he's not going to not get roles because of this one not being great at the end. Because even if you watched it, you'd be like, yeah, the story might be stupid, but when you watch him acting, it's like he's still acting like a motherfucker.
Yeah, like
but I feel like some other people are going to potentially not get jobs because they're like, didn't go so well here.
Yeah, like this is one of those things where, like we said, it felt like the writing and the creative team just fucking gave up. Like they just
I mean, technically you could say that they did, because there's nobody from season 1 or 2 that's writing in season 5.
Yeah. That's the other thing. If you guys
maybe gave up ain't the right word, or maybe they got replaced by somebody. I don't know who's in charge of that. You would think that Eric Kripke would be in charge of hiring the writers to write the individual episodes.
And that's crazy too, because people are going to come out and go, well, they always have like different writers for different shows. But look up your favorite show, right? Look up the seasons, and you'll see, yes, few writers might come and go, but the people who write good episodes, or the main creative, like the top writers you see highlighted as written by blah, 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 that won't change. If they make good episodes, they're going to make more. It doesn't work in reverse.
I don't know how many different people write episodes for Stargate, because there's like, if you go with all 3 series, there's like 300 some fucking episodes.
Yeah, and there's probably.
But if you look at SG1, the writer for the show is involved throughout as they go along. Like, I know one of the original ones is Jonathan Glassner, but then in the later seasons he's not writing it, but he is consulting to be like, well, this don't make sense. This don't make sense. You can't do that because we did this. Like, that is happening the whole way fucking through.
Yeah, like
the people who wrote the story were involved in the writing of the episodes. Whereas I don't believe that Eric Kripke was involved of the individual writing of the episodes. He was just like, okay, you got to get to the point where Homelander gets depowered and Butcher kills him with the crowbar. You just got that's got to be in it. That's what's got to be in it. And they're like, okay, well, how do we get there? They're like, oh, well, we should give him the V1. Pointless.
It's like
we could have completely skipped the whole V1 thing.
And what's so ballsy and what pisses me off when we pulled up that interview is Kripke is out there promoting this and doing the interviews and on there with the fucking celebrities, like as if he's been integral and like right fucking there, like he's standing over the fucking writer going, nah, this isn't gonna work. So if he is, then he did a terrible fucking job and doesn't remember his own show. And if he wasn't, then he did a terrible job and wasn't a part of his own show. So either way you slice it, like this is really a direct failure on his part. Like either way, God, okay. I'm fucking done. I'm done. Let's wrap this shit up. I can't anymore. Have you ever actually heard me give the wrap this shit up? That I feel mentally exhausted right now.
Fair. I was thinking the exact same thing, so we were on the exact same page. Said what my favorite scene is. Said what my least favorite scene is. I gave my review. We 2.5 hours of telling you how everything was fucking terrible, which is disappointing because early in the season we were giving this fucking show 9s. You gave fucking episode 2 or 3 a 10.
Yeah, and I still stand by it.
Man, like right, and I can't believe that you said that they landed it on Instagram.
I mean, they landed it as far as I was just thinking in the reference of Game of Thrones. I was being overly charitable.
Yeah, you were.
Because whenever I measure these things, I'm thinking, is it as bad as Dexter or Game of Thrones final? And I'm like, nope. Well, then I got to go slightly higher because I gave those a fucking -1.
Yeah, but we've agreed a long time ago that not all numbers are created equal.
Yeah, that really is true. It because there's different levels of suck. Like it's not that kind of a suck,
and different
but it
styles.
still sucks.
And different reasons. Like if you have a great story and you got terrible fucking acting and terrible fucking set design, it's like, fuck, man. Like, oh, I like the story, but these people are fucking suck.
And if you have a great actors and a terrible set design and a terrible story, well, it's like, I love these actors and I love the work they're putting in.
None of this shit makes sense.
But none of this shit makes sense. And that's where we landed. Wow. So next week we'll be talking about something that's not going to give us a fucking ordinary, and that's going to be Dutton Ranch. As a matter of fact, don't watch this. Go watch.
Hopefully we're able to do the review later this week so that it's. I mean, if we got that many views doing it days after, think how many views we can get on it if we do it
of the day,
after. I mean, unless you want to do it at night.
So. Yeah, we'll see where that all falls and stuff, but I'm more excited for what's coming up with that show. And of course, I got my Mandalorian Grogu, which I'll put up immediately after I go to see that. But it's Sunday because unfortunately, see it the day of. We got to wait until Sunday. So
we're a week away from Spider Noir.
And of course, the biggest event here, if you guys know me, huge super Nick Cage fan. Spider Noir, we will have that motherfucker. Are we gonna do every? We're gonna probably just do every episode then, or maybe we should.
I presume that I don't know if I'll be able to watch it all from the time that it releases, all in one sit. I'm not sure how long the episodes are. I want to say there's 9 episodes, I think.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they're all an hour long, I don't think I'll be able to watch 9 hours straight of it. But if they're half an hour, 35 minutes, 4.5 hours, more doable. Like you can maybe not necessarily in exactly one sitting because, like, I'm going to have to take a piss.
I'm thinking maybe we could split up and do like half one day, half another day. We could do that. Keep it interesting.
Yeah, being that they release all at one time, it's a daunting task.
It is, but we were going to cover it because Nick Cage is actually the god among men. If there's a second coming here on Earth, it's Nick Cage. I said it. I'm committed. It's a close one because I also have Keanu Reeves up there too because he's just the nicest person ever. So, I mean, could be either. We don't know. We'll find out when the rapture comes. With the shit they have now, rapture's got to be approaching quickly, TV. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you got more entertainment from this stream than you did from the show. And if you did, like, share, subscribe, hype, all the YouTube bullshit, and get us out there. Thank you for the people who popped in and interacted. We had a few good people, bit of people interacting with us today. So thank you. Sax 7, which is funny. Sax 727, Maximus Jenkins.
What in the fuck are you actually talking about?
The people who interacted.
No, this new comment from Dizzy FPS. Sorry, I didn't have Butcher was the real MVP. In what fucking way?
I mean, as far as I think
he didn't even complete the task that he set out to do, which was to end all the soups.
I think you meant to say Carl Urban and his amazing acting was the MVP.
Oh, that I can get on board with.
Yeah, not exactly the because even in the sense, and you could go back through and check out the rest of our review, and get our feelings on that. Because of how it's set up, nothing makes sense. It was terrible.
Yeah, I feel like you will be enlightened if you go back and watch the review.
But thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Appreciate you so much for coming in, popping in, saying your comments. Leave me comments, like, share, subscribe, hype the video, all that bullshit. And as always, remember, there is only one rule here in the Fandom Zone: kneel before General Zod.